All right, welcome to another edition of the BS sessions. As always, we got the great Jerry Supe, man.
The great Jerry CP.
The
That's
great
correct.
Jerry
You're
Supe.
correct, sir, man. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, man.
Well, we're supposed to have two guests tonight. One of them is having technical issues, but let's introduce our first guest and one of our favorite guests, Joseph Staub. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Always great to have you on,
Especially
man.
since I unintentionally came up with this topic.
Oh, okay.
Oh
We have
yeah,
a we have a first time guest, Tim Wirasnik. How you say his name? I'm bad with
Renat.
pronouncing names.
I could say it when he says it.
All right,
Raznik, Raznik,
Wirasnik.
Raznik. You know me and names. I couldn't say my co-host for 7 years, Nate, last name. So
Yeah.
shit.
He's having technical issues, but hopefully he'll be joining us in a minute. But like they always say, man, the show must go on, and so here it goes.
Yeah. So man, what do we have going on tonight, man? Oh, it's my idea, right? So I gotta say
That's
it.
right.
Like Joseph said, he was on Black Spinner Circle. And what were you doing again? I forgot the episode, but
Album openers, I think.
album openers, and they picked like three songs in a row that were like, fuck, those are
Yeah,
songs
it
I
was
could
all
fuck
it was all Deep Purple
all
songs
Deep Purple songs.
because
Yeah.
Andy picked Highway Star, I picked Burn, and Al picked Speed King.
I was
Yeah.
like, shit, that's a good episode right there. And then you go, I know what your song's gonna be. Sammy Hagar, I can't drive 55. All right, man.
Mark Out and Taylor's Anthem.
Okay, man. All right, man. So tonight we're doing 11 songs to get a speeding ticket to. But before we get into that, we always get into the BS, man. I got some David Lee Roth BS, man. He's in the news this week because he's being a Sammy Hagar. He's actually putting himself in the news like Sammy does. So this is like turnabout for David. But David doesn't talk much, so this is interesting because Sammy talks all the time. Daily
Too
Ross,
fucking much.
yeah, Daily Roth says he spends almost 100K on weed.
Hey, man, you got the money for it? Go for it.
How could you spend 100K on weed though? I don't understand that.
Because he's fucking David Lee Roth, man. That's why.
How could you smoke 100K in weed? What kind of weed is this?
Maybe he's generous with the public around him. You never know.
I don't understand it at all, man. I don't under. What do you have any
No,
thoughts
no,
on that?
no, no. One more thing. These weed legal states, like you live in, is it legal where you're at too, Joseph?
Medicinally.
Okay. Is there a limit to how much you can actually buy legally? No.
No.
Okay.
It's like
Didn't know
alcohol.
that.
You can go and buy the whole store out.
Okay. Didn't know that.
I usually go
Ah,
get a couple vapes and 2 grams of flour. So
yeah. I don't know how the fuck you can smoke $100,000 worth of pot quickly anyway. So I don't know.
what kind of
Damn,
weed is he getting?
those pot parties must be hitting.
No shit, man.
Is he smoking some Maui Wowie or some Thai stick?
Some
Dude,
big fucking.
you're telling me you wouldn't want to go smoke pot with David Lee Roth though?
I've never said that. I'm just saying, how could you spend 100K on weed?
Because Dave doesn't throw a party, he is the party.
That's true. There you go.
Oh man. And then we get to something I haven't really heard David do this against people, really, except Sammy. But now he's going off on Wolfgang Van Halen for allegedly throwing some of the singer's invited guests out a couple concerts on Van Halen's final tour. But why is he doing this now? I don't understand. This was years ago.
Because
Yeah.
Wolfie came out and publicly supported Sammy.
Oh,
Good point.
That was it. Literally, that's it. That's it.
Jerry.
It's
And
the only
because
it's the only logical answer I can come up with as well. So
and because Wolfie kind of threw Dave under the bus a little bit about why there hasn't been an Eddie Van Halen reunion show or a
Yeah.
tribute show. I mean, like
yeah.
to be fair, on one hand, yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere a little bit because you're right. Dave usually isn't the one that's out there trashing people except for Sammy, but pretty much every interview Wolfgang's done about Van Halen has shaded Dave in some kind of way. Whether it's and the worst part about it is at least Dave came out and said Wolfie's name. Wolfie has always been kind of sly about it. Well, there's certain unnamed parties as to why this didn't happen, or certain unnamed parties as to why a different kind of truth isn't on streaming services, and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
So say what you want. I think this is Dave just kind of pushing back on him. Yeah, it's not what you really want to see Dave doing, but it's been kind of coming his way for a while, I think.
Hey, computer, Mr. Tim, unmute you, man. You could be black, man. Well, I'm not gonna you just talk. You just be Mr. Black today. Tim, turn on your mic. Hey, Jerry, what do you think about that, man?
I agree with what Joseph said, man. I mean, Dave, it takes a lot for Dave to come out and say something. So, and usually when he does say something, it's usually right. As much as you hate to admit it, Mark, but he's usually right when he does say something. So, it's definitely because Wolfie shaded him. I mean, definitely. I mean, but like Joseph said, at least Dave was, man enough to say Wolfie's name. So,
Well, Wolfie's just playing
it's
advocate.
just it's just a shitty fucking thing. I just hate that that's actually going on, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Wolfie did say before that Dave could play any Van Halen song he wants live. It's his songs. He could do whatever he wants with them, So he's Daily Roth is Daily Roth. And he even shaded his uncle Alex and Eddie, that they were like on his side, on Wolfie's side. So he shaded them too.
But you have to admit that almost every article you've seen with Wolfie's name on it for the past year has some kind of little dig at David Lee Roth in it.
Yeah, that's true, man. But
whether it was an interviewer asking him a question about Van Halen or David Lee Roth, or him just bringing it up. And yeah, I understand your dad's your hero. There hasn't been a tribute show to him, possibly because of Dave. But I think it's just as much about everyone else involved as Dave. I mean, I think I'll just say Wolfie's not an innocent party in all this. Wolfie's done his fair share of under the table jabs about Dave throughout, basically ever since the last tour, even when his dad was still alive.
yeah. So yeah, I agree with that, man. But I just thought it was kind of fucked up with David. But David throughout the years of Van Halen, he rubbed them the wrong way. So probably Wolfie's on his I don't know why Eddie got back together with Eddie in the first place with David, anyways, because it just makes no sense to me because
well, look how well the tour did. That's probably
because a Van Halen reunion tour with David Lee Roth will sell a shit ton more tickets than a Van Halen reunion tour with Sammy Hagar.
Yep,
it's just science. You can like both eras, you can love the music. When it comes down to it, the money, especially in the late 2000s, was seeing Dave and Eddie on stage. And it just goes to show it didn't matter who else was on stage because nobody gave two shits about Michael Anthony not being there.
Yeah.
And nobody really gave a shit how bad David sounded either. So,
but to be fair, he sounded great on the second tour when Eddie kind of sounded shitty. Or, I mean, no, Dave sounded great on the first tour when Eddie was still having his problems. And then it was the opposite way around on the 2012 and 2015.
I don't know. I heard that live at the Tokyo Dome or whatever. Man,
that was the second tour. That was the second.
God, that was awful.
It was the 07 tour. I mean, everybody that saw it said Dave was the star of the show. That Eddie was having issues.
Yeah, I don't know why they recorded that.
Then it flipped around that Dave was having his vocal troubles and Eddie was sounding like the best guitarist he had been in years.
I saw the last tour where they had some Cool in the Gang open or something. That was pretty cool. I thought they were both good. I thought Roth sounded great. I thought Eddie sounded great. I had fun. It's freaking cool. Hey Tim, we don't care about your video. What do you think about Daily Roth? He spends $100K in weed and he shaded some Wolfgang Van Halen.
I think that looking back, hindsight is always 2020. I think that David Lee Roth and Van Halen should never have gotten back together again because they made one good album. Good album. I'm not going to say great. I'm not going to say one of the six pack, but good album. And they did that live Tokyo Dome thing, which had its moments and then didn't have its moments.
Didn't have its moments, in my opinion.
No,
It was horrible
there's
from the
about
beginning.
there's
Really?
some good takes.
There's a couple songs
Good
on there.
stuff
that are-
on there, but there's some bad stuff on there too. And it's all David Lee Roth's vocals and his non-ability to relate the song to the audience. He just doesn't have the voice live anymore. Not that he ever did have it live, but you know, he was a better showman than what he is now.
I don't know, David. His voice was fine before. I thought. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Back at the
But when you
highlights.
go out live, when he went out live for 100 dates, 200 dates, his voice started to crack towards the end
mm,
because he wasn't taking care of it. I mean, singer's got to take care of the voice. As simple as that. So my opinion is, bringing Wolfie on at 15, I didn't think was a very good thing to do just because he's 15 years old. He's not an adult. He's not even close to being an adult at 15. He's in the process. I mean, come on. And you can't tell me that you couldn't have hired Mikey Anthony back and gone out there with.
Well, Michael Anthony was on David on Team Hagar.
Sammy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
So
that was
that's why
purely.
that's why
that
they
was
didn't
all
hire
in.
him back. And I'm like,
That was
I don't
all
know
in.
what happened between them and Sammy,
Well,
but
if
something
you see
sure
all
did.
the interviews, if you see all the interviews, it
Yeah, but
sounded
it's-
like Eddie. No, it sounded like Eddie had it out for Michael from.
Yeah,
David
but it's always if you're talking to Sammy, Eddie did this, but if you're talking to Eddie, Sammy did this.
Well, I mean,
You know
even
what I mean?
before Sammy was in the band,
And the other two
you
guys,
hear an interview
Alex,
with
he
Eddie.
won't, Alex always gonna back Eddie, always, no matter what. And Mikey, I'm not gonna say anything. He said one thing one time about the breakup.
Mikey's thrown his fair share of shit in the recent years,
But I mean, so who knows what was behind the scenes going on? I don't. I wasn't there. But I do know that they made one good album with David back. Different Kind of Truth. It was a fair album. Had a couple of really clunkers on that one, but like Tattoo.
Clunkers?
What the fuck was that?
yeah,
I don't know.
I'll give you the tattoo. That's okay. Yeah,
I
The
thought
rest
the
of
whole I thought the whole album was awful. To be
yeah.
honest, with you.
We know that, Jerry. I don't agree with you. Tattoo's kind of like, I got used to it. I don't skip it anymore. I used to skip it. Yeah, it's just part of the album for me. But
I love the track "You and Your Blues." I think
That's a
that's
great
the
song.
best track on there,
no, that's
and it's
as
not
is.
a bad Van Halen song.
As is the best Van Halen is the best song on it, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
As far I saw David Lee Roth on his Skyscraper tour
Me
back
too.
in what, 86?
Me too.
Huh?
I saw that tour too at the Forum where
Oh,
he
yeah,
surfed over
Yeah,
the audience
big
from a boxing
surfboard
ring.
going
Yeah.
over and I thought he was great.
He was.
Yeah.
He
I thought
was.
he was, but the one thing he did, I gotta admit, he's smart. The one thing he did on that tour is he hired a bunch of musicians that can sing backup because he needs big time help with his backup singers because he can't handle it just himself live. He has to have the backup singers, reinforcing his vocals.
I agree, but it kind of sucked. I didn't get to see Billy Sheenan because he left on that. He didn't go on that tour. That was a great fucking concert. One of the best I've ever seen. I had the shirt that said every girl's dream, every boyfriend's nightmare. It's pretty cool, man. I miss that fucking shirt. That was fucking cool. But one more David Lee Roth thing. Joe Satriani. I don't think I'll ever really understand David Lee Roth, Joseph.
I mean, what camp does Joe Satriani fall in again?
Sammy.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, was he
It's
supposed
who
to?
he's friends with.
Yeah.
It's who he's friends with.
Yeah.
But does anybody understand
Well,
David Lee Roth, what he does?
it's
No.
who he's friends with is also who he's getting a paycheck from.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't need a paycheck from Sammy. He's
Yeah, but it sure
Yes,
is
he
nice to
does.
get one.
nah, man. He's out. He goes on good tours. He doesn't play big arenas, but he plays good capacity theaters. So and he's doing that G3. That G3 does really good. They play
Yeah.
arenas.
I mean, Joe Satriani was doing fine in his solo career.
Yep.
He didn't need to join Sammy, but he did. So
Because he
now
wanted
that's
to play
his
in a
paycheck.
band. He wanted to play in a band.
Yeah,
you know.
but that's his paycheck now.
Yeah, I didn't understand that chicken foot shit. I mean, it was awful. I mean, it's way above.
What?
It's 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 Joe Satriani is way above that band. I mean, it blew my mind when he joined that band.
You don't like
I-
Chad
so-
Smith on drums and Michael Anthony on bass?
I
No,
don't like
but
Red Hot Chili Peppers, so he's a good drummer. I mean,
The
what
problem
else?
is
I mean,
the problem with Chickenfoot is the sum of their parts does not equal the part. In other words, all three of them are better musicians, or four of them, well, three of them are better musicians than what they put on the album. They're
You know,
yeah,
much
it's like
better.
I personally saw or heard no difference between a Sammy Hagar solo album and Chicken Foot.
Yep.
Sounded
No, no,
the
no,
same
no,
to
no,
me.
no, no.
Absolutely the same.
Chicken Foot had a better groove with Joe and Michael Anthony.
You and your grooves.
Man, I love fucking grooves, dude.
Mark,
I
everything
love-
Sammy's
I love
put out in the
funk.
last 20 years is the same because he's attached at the hip to Mike Anthony.
I love it.
And I'm not ragging Sammy for that. That's his style, but it's like, you would figure, Satriani would be Joe Satriani on these albums, but he's nothing more than Sammy's lead guitar player.
Oh, I saw Chicken Foot live, but it had Kenny Aiznoff playing drums. Great drummer, by the way. And fucking Joe was killer on stage with them. I see Joe on the
maybe he's
I saw
allowed
Joe
live.
flying in a Blue Dream tour. It was awesome.
Yeah,
too.
maybe he's allowed to let go live, but on the albums,
What are you
it just sounds
talking
like
about?
Sammy
There's some
Hagar's
killer-
freaking.
Those two
Dude,
albums-
I've heard it, and there's nothing.
Well,
Mark,
it's just my opinion.
I'll
You
give
can have
you
your
I'll
own.
give you a great comparison. I'll give you a great comparison, and just to show that I'm not just ragging on Sammy because I hate Sammy and I hate Chickenfoot. But the point we're trying to make here is that those four particular musicians just did not gel.
That's
as
what I
a
mean.
band.
The sum of the parts is not as good as the parts should be.
Yeah. Another great
You know.
example, just to show it's not just Sammy that we're hating on. I love every musician in this band. Sons of Apollo did not work for me. I
Mhm.
love
I
Portnoy.
I like Sons of
I
Apollo
love-
too.
Portnoy. I love Jess Scott Soto. I love Bumblefoot. I love Billy Sheehan, Derek Sherinian. It did not work as
Yeah,
a
that-
cohesive band.
Yeah, that.
But
that
then
wasn't-
again,
yeah,
Winery Dogs work well for me.
That works
Perfect for
amazing.
me. And they're a bunch
Portnoy,
of
Sheehan, and
superstars
Cox
getting
are
Winery
amazing.
Dogs is way above the Sons of Apollo, but I do like
Yeah.
Sons of Apollo, but I don't go back to it as often as I go to Winery Dogs. So
But that's the
I
thing.
understand
That's
that. Yeah.
the comparison. That's the
Well,
comparison.
the thing is, I like the Chicken Foot House.
Well,
I you know
we
what?
know
I-
you like
you know
everything
what?
that
I'm
Sammy
just gonna-
Hagar's voice.
I'm just gonna back out of this subject and put my big foot on the gas. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next.
put that
let's-
chicken foot on the gas, right?
fucking I'm gonna throw a soap and a rope on you. Yeah. All right.
That sounds like an interesting threat.
Yeah.
All right, man. Football playoffs, man. Speaking as a Niner fan, I almost had a heart attack on fucking Saturday. But Jerry, let's start with you though.
What about it? What about
The playoffs, man. What do you think's going on? I don't care about predictions.
My predictions or the last?
No, you
games?
don't have to give predictions. How were those two games for you on?
Oh,
Did you expect? I thought Buffalo was gonna win, dude. What
yeah,
happened?
I mean,
They should
well,
have.
the kicker missed a kick to tie it, but
Scott
Well,
Norwood.
they fell apart in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
in general.
Well,
Both teams, the Packers and the Bills, both did.
yeah, I mean the Packers for 3.5 quarters won that game. I mean,
Yeah.
But 49ers, made the right plays at the right time, and that's why they're, advancing. If they played the same way they played against Green Bay, against Detroit, Detroit will be in the Super Bowl. So
just remember the 49ers should have won that Browns game in the rain with that guy missed the field goal. So
hey, Mark, I'll give you a great comparison. What happened to the Packers last Sunday is what happened to you guys in the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
with the
pretty
Kansas
much
City
so.
Chiefs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
so, yeah.
Garoppolo throwing up the middle. Don't throw
Jordan
in the middle.
Love. Jordan Love. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's literally the exact same thing.
I don't know. I'm a Steeler fan, so what do I
Same
know?
here. I
Hey,
live in constant pain.
Hey, Tim Wirasnik, meet Joseph Staub, fellow Steeler fans there. There you go. So too bad we can't see you. We'll fix that next time you're on here. We're gonna test your shit next time.
Yeah.
But it's cool just to have you on here just talking.
Because this is the first time I've ever been on Skype. If you'd have done Zoom, it would have been no problem.
This
But-
is
is
Zoom.
or excuse me, I'm usually on Skype, not Zoom.
Yeah, Skype is having a lot of problems with echoes lately. We're gonna record the podcast on here, so you're good being black when you come back on the podcast because that's just audio. But on the Freeform Rock podcast, but
Mark, rephrase what you just said.
Yeah,
I mean it's okay.
that's
We don't
not
see
politically
you.
correct, dude.
Dude. People should know I didn't mean it that way. I meant your
Mark, I'm just ragging on you.
fucking Mark always gets ragged on. Why am I talking to myself in the third person? But fucking yeah, I'm just saying I'm tired of the Purdy did a good job there. He did a pretty good job. And he doesn't like wet balls, as it's been proven in the Cleveland game.
Nobody
Does
likes wet
anyone?
balls.
Does anyone?
All right, man. We're
I'm
rated.
in New England.
You
Don't
know what?
even
You know
talk
what's-
to me about footballs, okay?
You know what's funny about football is 10 years ago, you would ask me if I liked Richard Sherman. I would say you're fucking stoned. I hated that fucking guy. But he
Fuck
is
him.
like one of my favorite. I guess, well, he did join the 49ers, but he's always defending the 49ers. He's always been defending Brock Purdy. And I love the guy now. And it's just funny how that works.
And
when
that
he's your
guy,
enemy, how much you hate somebody, but when he's on your team, it's like, you love the guy all of a sudden. It's like, He was
that's the one thing.
Go ahead.
That's the one thing I will say is I think what I think about that game, I think the Packers should have won that game. I think if they hadn't failed on all three phases of the game in the last 5 minutes, it would have been a different game. That being said, the narrative differences between how people talk about Jordan Love versus how people talk about Brock Purdy
bullshit.
is insane.
It is.
The fact that on one hand, you have Jordan Love in his first year as a starter after 2 years as a backup. You have people saying, "Oh, well, it's okay. They're a rebuilding team. They really shouldn't have been here. We'll get them next time, champ." Jordan Love did everything he could. And then on the other hand, you have Brock Purdy, who's had 2 extremely impressive years of football as literally the last pick in the draft and will not get any credit from anyone for anything.
I mean,
And
even
I
if he wins the Super Bowl, they're still going to say, "Well, it was because of the system, not him."
There's a YouTube channel I watched and he made a joke, and it's completely true. He like impersonates all these different quarterbacks. They were all talking, and when it was Brock Purdy, he said, "Hey guys, Tom Brady was a late round pick too. Why don't you give him the same shit you give me?" And they said, "Well, when you win your 7th Super Bowl, you can come back to us."
Well,
That's basically the same thing. Is that it? And he's making fun of that narrative. Is what it was. He's making fun of the narrative that Brock Purdy, until he wins like 5 Super Bowls, is not going to get credit for anything just because of where he's at.
Yeah, they don't want him to be the face of the league either.
No.
So that's
Yeah,
another
but-
reason why.
I mean, we can go back like to my Steelers. Terry Bradshaw still doesn't get credit that he deserves.
No, that's
And
true.
because it's all the defense. The defense won the Super Bowls for him. It's like, well, you still got to put the ball in the end zone to win.
Well, they're all in the Hall of Fame, though.
Well, and
Well, I know
and
that, but-
to be fair, you look at some of those passes he was throwing; they were, for that era, insanely good passes. Like he was throwing bombs down the field.
Well, you also had
It
Lynn
was
Swan.
Receivers that made him good,
Yeah.
and it's like you still got to get the ball to him,
He was still a NFL MVP quarterback.
Yeah, and I
Like-
always said I mean, what quarterback didn't have weapons with them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On their team, it's like
No quarterback.
Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin,
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith, Jay Novacek, Alvin Harper. I mean, come on. I mean,
See, and
Charles
and
Haley on defense. There you
that's
go.
the comparison everybody always makes is, well, Terry Bradshaw is just Troy Aikman. No. Terry Bradshaw is leagues better than Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, if you're talking about a quarterback that got carried by the people around him,
Terry Bradshaw was calling his own plays as a rookie.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman is a quarterback that got carried. Great player. I do say he's a great player. Troy Aikman is the number one like poster child for quarterback that got completely carried by the talent around him. That would not have won almost.
I will agree with that
almost anything that he
100%.
did.
that offensive line is probably the best that's ever been in football.
Yeah.
I mean,
that team was stacked.
Larry Williams. God damn. That was a
that team
beast.
was stacked, and then Jerry Jones basically
Eric
wasted.
Williams, Larry Allen, Eric Williams.
Oh, Larry Allen, Eric Williams. Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, they were a great offensive line until it started snowing, and then
Yeah.
Oh, Leon
forget
Litt.
about it.
Oh, they were a 3-ring dynasty that should have been at least 5 or 6-ring dynasty, but Jerry Jones mismanaged that to death in the late 90s.
Yeah, so Mr. James West, fuck you on 94. You threw 3 interceptions, bitch. Don't say that you lost because people were hurt.
Well, the Cowboys shouldn't have won the Super Bowl in '95 if Neil O'Donnell wasn't a switch agent.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Switching.
Well, you gotta stop throwing the ball to the other team.
especially when there's nobody with your same jersey on within 10 yards of that other team.
Especially when the game's on the line and you're making a drive. Don't throw the ball to the other team.
Three times.
That guy got MVP for catching balls that were thrown right at him. You know,
when there was no Steeler within 10 yards.
Exactly. No, and Troy Aikman had a fucking concussion. He doesn't even remember that game. So there you go.
Talk about possibly the Steelers. The only 2 times the Steelers ever lost the Super Bowl is because they choked it away.
Yeah.
Oh god.
They should have beat the Cowboys.
I was watching that game.
Packers game.
I can remember watching that game and thinking to myself, is Neil O'Donnell a Super Bowl winning quarterback? I mean, I'm questioning that, like, is he? And
no, not at all. Not at all.
But people used to make fun of him back in the day
really?
On him. They were surprised. They were surprised they got to the Super Bowl with Neil O'Donnell. That was a lot of the ESPN and stuff. Yeah,
that tells you about the talent they had on that team. Talk about an era of the Steelers.
Now that was a quarterback that got carried by his team.
Yeah.
Just like what the hell was his name? He played for the Ravens. They won their Super Bowl.
Trent Dilfer.
He was a quarterback that got carried by the defense.
Also, Tampa Bay, Brad Johnson.
Yeah. 2 years in a row.
He was a good quarterback.
See, those two, I was talking to friends at work today. I go, those are game managers. Don't make mistakes and let the defense take care of this game.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
They're not going to do anything spectacular for you, or
Brock Purdy.
They're not going to fuck it up either.
I've seen Joe Montana. I've seen Steve Young. I've seen Jeff Garcia. I've seen Colin Kaepernick. Brock Purdy throws a beautiful fucking long ball that I haven't seen a fucking 49er throw ever. Maybe Brody before I was a 49er fan. I don't even know. He was the quarterback and freaking that other dude. But fucking dude, it's like Joe Montana never got credit for shit. When he was in Notre Dame, they fucking always tried to replace him with another quarterback. When he was at the 49ers, they got rid of him for Steve Young. It's like that guy was a winner.
Well, he got really hurt.
But he came back with they didn't have to trade him.
He basically pulled a Brady in Tampa Bay or a Flacco in Cleveland this year, let's say.
Well, he wasn't that bad. But the thing is, nobody remembers that 1981 the catch game, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did Joe Montana do in that game? He threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy threw none. He almost had 2. I will give him that.
That's the other thing is the Packers. Yeah, and then he won the game.
And that's what matters. That's the bottom line. You won the game.
Who was the game interception? Eric Wright on that the catch game, Jerry? You don't even talk about that. Jerry, you're muted. You're muted, bitch. There you
It wasn't a game-winning interception. It was a game-winning tackle.
tackle. Oh,
After
okay.
after 49ers made that touchdown, the catch, the Cowboys were driving kind of, and they threw a pass over the middle, and Eric Wright, I mean, the guy, I forget who the receiver was on his way to the end zone. Eric Wright shoestringed the guy. I mean, barely got a hold of his leg. If that wouldn't have happened, Dallas would have won that game. And it so happened the next play they fumbled, and that's how the game ended. So there's more to that game than just the catch.
It's like it's all. I was watching a video about all the different football myths of like these important games that people remember differently. Like people forget that the drive was just to get it to overtime.
Right.
That wasn't to win the game when John Elway went down the field 98 yards. That was just to tie the game. That wasn't even to win the game.
Yeah, and the 1 yard, the Rams and Titans. Everybody says Titans would have won that game. They just would have tied it.
They would have tied it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have won it yet. So
is it just me, or did it seem anyway? I don't know the statistics. I don't have them in front of me and all that, but did it seem anyway that Dak Prescott had a better season last year than he did this year?
No, he threw less interceptions this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. This was one of his best
It was one of his best
seasons.
years. Yeah.
Because it just seems like he's going downhill a little bit compared to what he was.
No, I like Dak Prescott. I think he's a good guy. I think he has bad coaching.
He's a good guy, but
bad coaching.
He the quarterback of the future for the Cowboys?
I think he is.
They have no choice.
They needed to get rid of Mike McCarthy, but that was
no. What they need to do is get rid of Jerry Jones. That's the problem.
And that'll never happen, of course.
That's the problem, and no one will ever say it.
I mean, the Packers got rid of Aaron Rodgers, so anything's possible.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron Rodgers left the Packers.
I mean, if Dak caused a stink like Aaron Rodgers did, I'm sure they would be able to get rid of him. But
they could have just as easily said, "Look, Aaron, we're going to offer you 5 times more than anybody out there. Come back to the Packers," and he would have gladly accepted.
Well, they got Trey Lance on the Cowboys. Maybe he could do something.
Well, there's also kind of a Steve
Young Joe
Montana.
Bring that name up.
There's a Steve Young Joe Montana thing.
We traded a lot of. We fucking built Miami with that fucking trade, man.
Yeah, the 49ers got lucky with Brock Purdy.
Oh, they got
really
lucky.
Did.
They got
you guys would have been the laughing stock of the league.
Well, you give up that much draft capital. It's supposed to set you back years. It didn't. And we got lucky with the 7th round pick. Brock Purdy.
This could have.
Look at the Cowboys with Herschel Walker.
It could have been the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah.
It could have been. If you guys didn't end up going
built their team because of Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
You know who you could thank for Brock Purdy? Brian Greasy. He told them, draft this kid, get him. He's good. Get him. He pushed them to get Brock Purdy. And they said, well, we'll get him as an unrestricted free agent. And he said, no, don't take a chance. Somebody else will scoop him up. So that's why he was Mr. Irrelevant, because of Brian Greasy.
Well, that honestly, like, the 49ers are possibly, whether or not you guys win a Super Bowl in this run with this team you guys have, the fact that you guys have made it to three consecutive three consecutive NFC Championship games while possibly making one of the absolute worst trades in NFL history.
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
Is literally any other team would have been number 1 draft pick the next year.
Yeah. All right, man.
Okay, this brings up a question I have for you three. Who is a better quarterback? Okay, because, why do we play in the NFL to win Super Bowls? Okay, who is a better quarterback? Trent Dilfer or Marino?
Marino.
Oh, it's no.
How?
No, I mean Marino.
Dilfer's got the ring.
Well, because the defense, he didn't do nothing to win that. He just didn't make mistakes.
That's 3/4 of the game.
Yeah, but that's looking at one season of his career versus the entire span of
that's what
Marino's
I'm
career.
saying is a few years ago, I remember that was the question of everybody is who's a better quarterback, Trent Dilfer or or Dan Marino or John Elway or
Well,
before he won the Super
I'll
Bowl.
put this one to you, and this is a really kind of big question about modern NFL when it comes to the Hall of Fame in about 10 years. Rank these four quarterbacks, or three quarterbacks: Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben won 2,
Mhm.
Eli won 2,
Eli
Rodgers won
sucks.
1. Statistically, Rodgers is by far the best. Eli is by far the worst.
Yep.
And Ben's right there in the middle. There's people that will say Ben is not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Bullshit.
And at the same
I would
time,
not
turn
be one of
around
them people.
and turn around and say that Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer because of the MVPs and all this stuff, even though he's only won one ring, and that only ring came because the Steelers choked away a game.
Yeah.
And we did.
No, I mean,
choke
all three of them are first round Hall of Famers, in my opinion.
Eli,
Yeah.
I think he is.
I don't
I think
like
he is.
Eli.
he borders.
Mark
think,
Dolly, you know I don't like Eli. There you go.
I think he's definitely a
If-
Hall of Famer. I don't know first ballot.
If
But
Joe Namath is a Hall of Famer, then Eli Manning is
Yeah,
definitely a Hall
that's
of
true.
Famer.
Joe was horrible
No,
after that.
no, I think Eli is a Hall of Famer. I don't know about first ballot.
Well, Joe Namath was, and there's no freaking way he's
Well-
never say that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Hey,
Well-
Patrick Willis is.
He just didn't play long enough.
Yeah.
But
And anyway,
the problem
more
the
BS.
problem with doing this, with comparing like players and players from different eras, is the rules back when like Bradshaw played were so different
Or
compared to
Montana.
nowadays.
Montana and
It's
Brady
not
were
even
way different.
even Montana.
Yeah.
But back when Bradshaw was playing in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, they were so different from
They
what
could
they
go
are
out there and
today.
basically murder each other on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
quarterbacks, you got their heads ripped off, and
It's
wasn't,
not
you
even,
know.
it's not, you can't compare it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it's true.
How many rules in the NFL rulebook are named after players on the steel curtain defense?
Yeah.
A lot.
like a
It's-
cornerback could hold the receiver down the entire length of the field if he wanted
Mhm.
to.
The Mel Blount
Yeah,
rule.
and not to mention, it was a tough game when you played on nothing. It was basically concrete, artificial turf was. So you
Mhm.
factor in the roughness
with very little padding.
the roughness of the game back then, and playing on those turfs, man. Jeez.
Well, that
One of those-
that old stadium in Philadelphia where Michael Irvin got knocked the fuck out on that turf.
Veteran Stadium.
Veterans-
yeah.
Veterans
Yeah.
Stadium.
I heard that stadium was a nightmare to play in, especially in the summer when it's hot. It was just
Oh,
steamy.
what
Oh,
about
most of them were. Most of
Yeah.
them.
What about Willie,
Most of those old
what about Willie
stadiums.
Gall when he played in
Yeah.
Philly?
Mhm.
Or he played a game in Philly and he broke both his kneecaps running
Jeez.
on the turf
Yeah.
in Philly. He sued the NFL. And it's like, we come on now. we gotta have
Yeah, I
better
mean-
playing conditions than that. Come on,
Yeah, I hated the turf in baseball, and I hated it more in football. Man, I'm glad they're using. Well, they're using fake grass, but at least it's
Yeah.
more.
I
Soft
never
real-
played on
realistic.
turf. I never played on turf in football. It's always natural grass. Always, but I'm old, so
Well, I'm gonna say, I mean, you might as well just play on concrete. It's almost the same
Yeah.
thing. So you know.
All right, man. So then we get to I'll stay out of this because I'm not a wrestling fan, but WWE Raw is going to Netflix in 2025. I think Joseph, you commented on this.
Mark. Based on all the news that came out today, I think we just need to move on to the next topic.
Oh, I don't even know what the news is. Okay, man. Next topic then.
Some very bad things came out today.
All
So
right.
Really, you got to fill me
Well,
in
you
later
need to
then.
tell us now.
look up the Vince McMahon lawsuit.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And
he's
we'll-
suing.
and we'll- no.
Trafficking.
Ooh.
I don't
Okay,
know.
next subject.
Yeah, let's move on.
Ozzy Osbourne wants to say goodbye to fans playing 2 final shows in Birmingham, Jerry.
You know what? If you could do 2 shows, go for it, Ozzy. Fuck it. You know, if it's just 2 shows to say goodbye, do it. Absolutely.
What does Sharon have to say about that?
Well, Sharon was the one with her hand up his ass, puppeting his mouth when he said it.
Because
much
that
so,
two
but-
shorts, that two shows could turn into a tour pretty damn quick, and
That
who would
is
be
true.
responsible for that.
Yeah.
All they got to do is tie him to a stick like they did at the Super Bowl at one year.
Only
just-
if he brings back a lot of the musicians that played with him. That would be so fucking cool if he was able to do that. I mean,
Yeah,
Zach,
well,
Jake,
he ain't bringing
all of
Randy
them.
back.
Oh, Jake ain't coming back.
You
Jake's
never know.
unless
All I
they-
know is I was very lucky that to be able to see him on the last tour, and the fact that he brought Zach back after those years was pretty cool to be able to see Ozzy with
Yeah.
Zach. I'm happy that
Yeah.
I'm happy.
But he's not bringing either Randy back, either of the Randys back, either Castillo or Rhodes, obviously.
Yeah.
No,
Dead. Yeah.
that's
Even
sad.
bring back Brad Gillis if you can, man. Bring back everybody that's played with him, man.
Oh, I get to see Night Ranger again. My wife's cousin bought
Same.
tickets. No,
But if they could
I'm seeing them the second next Friday.
Nice.
But if they could just keep it to 2 shows in his hometown,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too, man.
I think that's
Uh,
great,
and
Go
then we
out on
get-
top.
And then we get to Chris Elio. He said he gave us this, man. Kerry King says his new band is an extension of Slayer. What do you think about that, Joseph?
Slayer has been an extension of Kerry King for the last 10 years anyway. So, I mean, like several people said, Repentless was basically a Kerry King solo album with Tom Araya singing on it.
Oh,
When
wow.
I saw Slayer on the farewell tour, it was basically the Kerry King show with
Yeah.
Tom Araya, featuring Tom Araya. I mean, they were great live. It was great seeing Gary Holt and Paul Bostaff. But Slayer, ever since Hanneman died, has basically been the Kerry King band. And to be fair, it was for many years before that.
I've
Kerry
always
King-
thought it was his band. I mean,
It's always been his band.
Yeah.
It's always been Kerry King.
But he
band.
didn't want to stop Slayer. He was mad at Tom for wanting to go. So
Well, rightfully so in Tom's part. I mean, Tom is the one having to sing it all while playing bass.
he's got a family too.
He's got a family. He's compared to the image of Slayer, Tom Araya is a Catholic with a family.
yeah.
Like I can understand his point of view, and if Kerry King wants to do what he's going to do, great for him. I mean, no one's going to buy that it's Slayer, but if he wants to make music that sounds like that, I'll listen to it, depending on who he gets to sing it. But I mean, Slayer's been the Kerry King band for a long time, so
I'm not a fan, so I don't know all this stuff.
Well,
so.
I compare that to David Gilmour. Everybody looked at David Gilmour's 2 Pink Floyd albums and like, oh, it just sounds like a David Gilmour solo album. I'm like, what's it supposed to sound like? And David Gilmour's got a certain sound, so it's going to sound like David Gilmour. The same thing with Kerry King too. I mean, of course it's going to be Slayer soundish. I mean, it's just the way their style, So
he's the one that wrote all the songs.
exactly.
I never got into Slayer, so what it sounds like, I have no idea.
I get that they're an acquired taste. I love Slayer. I get that they're an
Same.
acquired taste, so I understand.
All right, and then we get to Mary Wise, Shangri-La singer, dead at 75. She was the singer on Leader of the Pack, that horrible cover by Twisted Sister.
One of the worst covers ever.
So rest in
Well,
peace, Mary. Thank you for your
Yeah.
contribution to Twisted Sister.
Sister should never have released that album.
Yeah, that's what-
The
that
cover
was
that
awful.
killed the song that basically
That album
killed
was
Twisted
horrible.
Sister's career.
yeah, I saw that.
It's fun. It's funny that album both killed Twisted Sister's career and relaunched Alice Cooper's career.
That's
They
funny.
should have never released Love Is for Suckers either.
Oh
They-
god,
they-
that was
they
another
didn't-
horrible.
They didn't want to. The
That was
label
supposed to be a D solo
So
album.
how
wasn't
many
it?
Yeah.
good albums does Twisted
Which-
Sister
which-
have?
3.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
No,
what I
2.
thought.
I'm not a big Under the Blade guy. I
Oh,
love,
I
the
love
songs
Under the Blade.
live.
Oh,
They're like
I
Molly-
like
they're-
Blade.
They're
I
like
love the
Motley
songs.
Crue to me.
I love
Under
the
the
songs
Blade.
live.
Yeah.
I hate
They're like
the
Motley
production.
Crue to me. They're like Motley Crue
But
to
I-
me. The first couple.
But I
albums,
still
dude.
say to this day that the best band D. Snyder was ever in was Widowmaker.
Widowmaker.
Yeah.
And I mean by far. They had something going. What happened? I don't know.
Best album
Excellent.
with the Twisted Sister logo on it.
Yep.
They were a
excellent.
live band. They were a live
Yeah.
band.
But I don't know what happened to them other than the fact that they couldn't catch any traction early on, which I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I
All
just, you know, I always thought they were better than Twisted Sister. That's for damn sure. Especially when Twisted Sister started getting like a parody of itself when they
Mhm.
started making those stupid videos.
Yeah,
You know,
those Widowmaker albums are just amazing.
oh, they're balls out, man. They're balls out.
God, I don't remember them. I gotta.
They're pretty good.
I gotta listen to them
Phenomenal.
again.
Phenomenal.
I have to listen to
Stand
them.
by for pain.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't ring a bell to me. And I've heard. I
Oh,
know you
man.
had the band, but I don't remember hearing them.
Well, and do yourself a favor and go on YouTube and check them out because
or
I'm telling you,
iTunes
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're on iTunes.
Oh, they're not? Oh.
It was underground labels and stuff.
yeah.
You know how these and then Rock Candy ends up with most of these albums.
Good stuff from Rock Candy, though, man.
Oh yeah, they do good
I
job.
mean, Dee
Yeah.
Snider was in Desperado too, but they weren't
Yeah.
nearly as good as Widowmaker.
Never heard of that either.
Al
Well,
Pitrelli that ended up in Sabotage and Megadeth.
He's in Megadeth
Okay.
too.
Yeah. He was in there. Joey Franco that was on those
Mhm.
last couple of Twisted Sister
Yep,
albums.
and Russell is the bass player.
Mark Russell.
Mark Russell.
All right, man. Let's get to for the ladies on here and Bob Hay. Disturbed David Draymond says Taylor Swift is fucking for real. I just wanted to say that. You guys don't have to comment on that. I just wanted to get that in there. I thought that was funny. And Richie Sambora and John Bon Jovi to reunite at Music Cares Person of the Year Gala next month. Any new? I know you guys aren't Bon Jovi fans. I'm the only
Look,
Bon Jovi fan.
Isn't this
here.
their
Look.
isn't this their like 20th reunion since he left the band?
No,
They do it like once a year, don't
no.
they?
Look,
They only did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was it, dude. They haven't been together at all. Since he
Jesus,
left,
I
they
was-
have,
I'm beyond bored of that entire
I don't.
like
I don't.
breakup.
I don't know. I don't know which is a more cringeworthy topic:
yeah.
Taylor Swift and Kelsey, or Richie Sambora and John Bon Jovi.
I'd rather talk about Taylor Swift.
Same difference. It's the same difference.
all right, man. So, well, they've only reunited
Look,
once. So
if I was a Bon Jovi fan, obviously I would want Richie Sambora to play with him. But so that's all I can say. I'm not a Bon Jovi
Okay.
fan.
hey,
I'm just
I
saying.
love Phil.
Mark-
I
Mark.
love Phil X, but
Mark,
John needs those harmonies, like David Lee Roth needed those harmonies. There you go. So there.
Mark,
you go.
I will say something to you.
Okay.
Bon Jovi sells out stadiums. Is there one person in the audience that isn't one of like us that can name another member of the band besides John Bon Jovi?
I could name all of them.
Besides you, Mark. I'm being
Well, let me
I'm being
see.
entirely
Let me
serious.
think here.
Probably
Tico-
not. They're just
Tico Torres,
Not in the band.
Bryant, Bryant something.
David Bryant.
David Bryant.
David Bryant. The bass player is that dude that's been with him since Alex John Such left. I can't
Yeah.
remember his name.
McDonald.
Yeah.
Uh,
But you're right.
yeah,
That's the
McDonald.
only the
Hugh,
original
I'm saying
Bon Jovi members.
Hugh McDonald.
Hugh
Yeah.
McDonald. No, I'm saying all the soccer
Hugh
moms
McDonald.
that sell all.
Hugh McDonald's an actor, ain't he?
No,
that's
that's
his
Hugh
name.
McDonald.
That's his name.
He's
Um,
played on Bon Jovi from the beginning. So
But that's what pissed me off about, well, one of the things that pissed me off about John Bon Jovi. When they fired Alec John Suck, and they said so, that he was fired. He was canned. He couldn't keep his mouth shut with private business, band business. That's what he said back in the day when they fired him. Now, since he died, they came out and said, "Oh, he was such an integral part of the band, and he
they
just
don't want
wanted
to
get
talk
off
ill of the
road."
dead. That's kind of understandable there, though. Come on.
No, it's not, because
Well, when he's
you already
alive, they
said
talk shit to his
they
face.
talk
So that's
shit
different.
about him, and now that he's dead, they don't want to look. They don't want to look.
They
bad.
told when he was alive, they told him why they kicked. They said why they kicked him out of the band, and he was alive to hear it. So now that he's dead, it doesn't make sense to talk
Yeah, but
shit
now-
about him
now-
anymore.
But now they're trying to. But it's
rewrite
different.
history.
You could just not talk about him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You
rewrite
can.
Because-
yeah, I agree.
history for their
Again,
image,
again,
quote unquote.
of the 30,000 soccer moms who go and see Bon Jovi shows,
I went to the last two.
Mark.
Not
you.
no, but I'm talking
many
about.
Mark,
I saw there was a lot
how
of guys.
many
There was a
times-
lot of guys in that audience
because their wives were gonna blow
no, they
them
were.
after the
There was
show.
guys. Maybe they were gay. I don't know. There was guys there with other
No,
guys. So.
They took their wives there so they could
There was
all
no.
get wet over John Bon Jovi and then do their thing after.
There's
the
a
show.
lot of guys who like Bon Jovi.
Mark, do you frequent these clubs?
the blue oyster bar.
I was
Dun, dun,
thinking
dun,
the
dun.
exact same thing.
Mark, you're walking right into these. You really are.
Hey, man.
But anyway,
Like I said on
either way,
Facebook, you could either laugh at me or laugh with me. I'm cool. I like to make people laugh. So there you
these
go.
and every
Bon
time
Jovi-
John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora are in the headlines, literally none of
Hmm.
the soccer moms that fill up stadiums to see Bon Jovi know who the hell Richie Sambora
They
is.
know Richie.
No,
they know
they
John
don't.
and Richie. They were
No,
all over
they
MTV at that time.
Good for
Bon
them. They
Jovi
probably
had
they
two-
probably think Phil X is Richie Sambora.
Bon Jovi
No,
had two
that's
good
Kiss
albums.
fans thinking Tommy
Yeah,
Pierce.
I was gonna say
is
that,
fucking
Tom.
ace.
It's the
Yeah,
same
same thing.
thing.
No, it
It's
isn't.
the s- Yes,
They don't have makeup on.
Kiss and Bon Jovi are two of the most notorious bands where a majority of the people that go to see them at the shows have no clue about the actual band.
No, they're idiots.
Bon Jovi had
Bon
two
Jovi
good
fans.
albums. The first two,
You.
their debut and their sophomore effort. After that, they went right to pure pop heaven.
Oh,
And it's-
fuck. Have you
and it's-
heard fucking New Jersey with
sad.
Train? Fucking great song. Woo, woo. I fucking love that song. New Jersey's a
Okay.
great album.
Mark,
Just on that
you're not
remark
helping.
alone.
All
Just
right,
on that
all right.
remark alone,
Let's
you're
get
not
off Bon
helping
Jovi
yourself.
since you guys think I'm on him. Then we get to Metal Church.
A
Cancels
real
the-
band.
Cancels their 2024 tour. Dates the Kurt Vanderhoof's ongoing back issue, Jerry.
That kind of sucks, man, because they were coming to Nashville. I was actually thinking about going to see them. Their new album, Congregation of Annihilation, is a fucking banger, dude. It's a great record. Mark
I
Lopes
think
is
it's
their new
album of the
singer.
year. I think
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
album of
Mark-
the year for 2023.
I always said it before, Metal Church has been blessed with amazing lead vocalists, man. From Mike Howe to fucking David Wayne. I mean, and this new guy, Mark Lopes, is just freaking
Yep.
incredible, dude. I mean, Kurt knows how to put a band together. But, it sucks about his health. Like we say before, these people are getting old, man. It sucks. So they're going to have health issues. So I hope he gets better. I mean, they've actually, performed, in the past without Kurt being he was a Brian Wilson like during Blessing in Disguise and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe this time they just don't want to replace him this time, I guess.
I think it sucks that obviously his back is hurting him because I have
understand
back
that
problems.
issue.
I have
heard
back problems, and believe me,
Yeah.
I know it sucks. But I also think it's great because they are showing that they are a band.
Yeah.
They are not, because they could get another guitar player and go out and tour, but they said no. It's just like Led Zeppelin when Bonham died. No, we're done. We're done.
Well, I
Because
mean,
he-
I think every decision's made by Kurt as well. So
but
his
it
band.
just shows that he was an integral part of the band.
Yeah.
A band as a whole, as a tight knit group. I think that's great. I wish more bands would do that.
Fucking Motley Crue. All right. Let's get to so that was the BS part of the thing. Now we're gonna do 11 songs that get a speeding
Aha!
ticket, man. Let's start with you, Jerry. What's your number 11?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with songs. Don't exactly go a million miles an hour, but when I hear them, I just step on that gas pedal a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start out. My first one is gonna be "Roll with the Changes" by REO Speedwagon.
Ooh, nice.
Every time I hear that opening, the riff, the keyboard riff, and then when Gary starts with that solo, man, I'm just like, hell yeah, dude! This song's a banger. And then I love Gary Richrath. He's very underrated guitar. Rest in peace, guitar player. Rest in peace. Great guitar player. And that's a great song to drive to, in my opinion. So that's my number 11.
Well, I agree with you on that song. and fuck, well, I don't know why I didn't pick it. I just reviewed that album on Lee's show, his podcast. I didn't even take notes for that album because I know that fucking you can tune a piano, you can't tune a fish.
Yeah.
I know every song. I was singing lyrics to him on his show. Fucking love that album. That's a great pick, Jerry. So I'll get to my number 11. I've been in a fucking deep dive of this band for the last 4 days. Even though I know them all, I just want to listen to fucking All Triumph. I'm almost done with the whole discography right now. I'm in the
Jeez,
middle
I
of
never
great
would have
band.
guessed. Never would have guessed that.
a Triumph
Great
needs
band to
fucking
listen to.
love.
They're a great band to listen to.
They're
Love
a
'em.
great band. Even Sport of Kings fucking had some songs on there, man.
Mhm.
They never made a bad album to me, except the Phil X album, Edge of Excess. Nah.
Which
No
they
Rick
never
Emmett,
should have made.
no Rick Emmett, no Triumph. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they
pick.
if it doesn't have Rick Emmett on it, and it's a Triumph. It's under the Triumph logo. Don't make it.
Yeah, so my number 11 is Rock and Roll Machine by Triumph.
There
That
you go.
fucking lead that he does it.
There you
You're
go.
just driving, you go, oh shit, I'm going 100. What the fuck is going on? Because that happened to me already. I'm going, fuck, I was just jamming to this fucking song the other day, and I was like, I had another 11 song on here, but this song I noticed I was going faster too. So Rock and Roll Machine by Triumph, and then our buddy Scribble. He can't be a part of this because he works 3 to 11 on Thursdays. He gave me a list, so I always humor Scribble. And if you want to hear some good underground rap, check him out on iTunes, Apple Music, freaking Spotify, wherever you get Scribble, man.
Real cool dude, man. Real genuine.
Real cool dude. And he makes good shit. And he likes Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. And he's a fucking metalhead. Fucking metalhead underground rapper. So his number 11 is Overkill, Deny the Cross.
Ooh,
Nice.
Scribble.
All
I'm in love with you. I am hetero. I'm heterally in love with you right now, man.
Shit. All right, Tim, what's your number 11?
My number 11 is Kiss Exciter.
Nice.
What great tune. Good tune.
Going back to Mark's post from this morning.
That tune just it makes my right foot just drop. Never fails.
Hey, Freeform did a video on Vinnie Vincent, so that go check it out. It's a short, it's only a minute. But that's a good
but the
pick.
lead wasn't Vinnie Vincent.
It was not.
No,
The lead
It was that dude. It was that dude from NXS, wasn't it?
No, it
Wasn't
was the
it
dude
Ferris?
from
oh, Ferris from Mr.
Fair-
Mister.
Mister.
Mister. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Steve
Yes,
Ferris.
Mr. Mister.
Steve
Sorry,
Ferris.
yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Steve
Okay,
Ferris.
My bad. Yeah.
But it wasn't Vinny.
Yeah, I don't know why Vinny gets a lot of love. He's but
I don't know.
Joseph-
36 people love him. Pay $200 for his website or his
Idiots.
Facebook page.
Isn't that
Oh, that
ridiculous? Oh my God.
How many of those are fake Vinny profiles? You have to imagine.
he's paying
Yeah,
for
probably.
himself.
Marketing.
No. Hold on.
I
We told a lie. It was not Ferris on Exciter.
wasn't?
That
It
was on
wasn't?
Creatures. That was on
Okay.
Creatures.
Yeah, Creatures.
good point. Good
but you-
point. Yeah,
but you-
I'm
but
thinking
he said
Creatures, you're right.
Ferris.
No.
I knew Steve.
It was
The dude,
Rick
Rick
Derringer.
Derringer.
Rick Derringer? Oh shit.
on Exciter.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Rock
Same guy.
and
Played
roll.
with Edgar Winter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like so we get to your number 11, Joseph.
Alrighty. So when I got this topic, first song that came to my head not too long ago, I was driving down the road on my way home from work, just had my phone on shuffle. And I usually listen to my music in the car pretty loud. And one song ends, and all of a sudden, blaring out of my speakers, I hear "Twisting the Strangled Grip Won't Give No Mercy." All Guns Blazing by Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Oh man. I was breaking the law after that one.
Pardon the pun.
Pardon the really, really bad Judas Priest pun. But my foot was on the floor when that riff came in. I mean, I could have gone with the title track off Painkiller. I could have gone with quite a few Judas Priest songs, but that
I
one
almost
for me,
picked Painkiller. That got knocked off for Rock and Roll Machine. So
nice. But that song in particular, just from personal experience of actually doing it, All Guns Blazing had me going about double the speed limit on my way home from work one day.
Oh, I know how that is, man. So Jerry, you're number 10, man.
My number 10 is from the absolute best thrash album ever made. No question. Well, you'll probably question it, Mark, and Tim, you probably will too. But I'm going with Angel of Death Slayer off of Rain and Blood, man. That is a fucking killer ass song to drive to. It's almost dangerous because it might give you fucking road rage. It's that good. Man,
it gives me some rage. Yeah, it gives me some rage. Yeah, go ahead.
Spoiler alert: it won't be the last time that album will be mentioned on this.
Holy shit! What a fucking song to drive to, dude, man.
Well,
you don't need coffee. You can drive late at night. You don't need any freaking coffee.
Well,
dude.
it also is not the last time that Priest will be mentioned either.
Yeah. Well,
They're
that
on
might
my
be true with
list
me
also.
too. Yeah.
I took my Priest off the list for Triumph, but I did have Priest. But there's so many songs by Priest that I know you guys are probably gonna.
Every band that I picked, there could be 5 or 6 different songs.
There could be 5 different.
I agree.
Same with Triumph. I could have picked another song by like 4 or 5 songs by Triumph to just kick ass. That get me going.
Yeah, I really don't have any deep tracks actually.
I have
pretty much hits.
I have a couple.
I got a couple.
Well, I'm gonna go for my number 10. Oh, Jerry, you go for your. Did you go for your number 10?
Yeah, the Rain and Blood Slayer.
Rain and Blood. So then I get
to Angel of Death. Excuse me.
Angel of Death. So then I get to my number 10, which is from the first Van Halen album, Atomic Punk.
Ooh,
it's like the Atomic Punk. I'm like, wow, fucking flooring it. It's I am the ruler of these never worlds, the underground. I'm probably singing better than David right now, so you're welcome.
No, that was one of his best vocals.
I always thought he said.
I'm talking about now at this moment.
I always thought he
still
said
pushing it.
Proud when I was first listening to Debut, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Then again,
I read
his lyrics usually don't.
Underground, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
I love it. I'm the attack. Don't is a fucking riff that Eddie's doing. My God, it's godly.
Wait, that was the Atomic Punk riff?
Yeah. No, was it?
Okay.
I am the ruler of.
No, Mark, you did it. I was just saying you did it badly.
Yeah, I did it badly. What isn't it?
Yeah, no, you did the correct riff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stick to singing, man.
Oh, fuck off.
Stick to listening. Stick to listening.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
That's why I do podcast. There you go.
You have a voice like me. That's why I don't sing.
Well, they always get a Mark karaoke, and Jerry gets a karaoke a lot of times too. So there you go. Sorry.
All of us were when we were talking about the
all
Eagles
karaoke.
Ago.
Yeah, I bring mine out for special occasions.
Only when we're talking about the Eagles.
And
we all sang on that album.
Yeah.
And by the way, that won't be the last time Van Halen's mentioned either.
Maybe me too, actually. Maybe that album actually.
Maybe so we get to Scribble. I don't know this band at all. 6 Feet Under, Broken Bottle Rape.
Don't know them.
Yeah, they're like a death metal band type thing.
Oh, then I would never listen to that.
What's the name of the band again?
6 Feet Under.
I know the band name, never heard a single song.
I never heard a single song.
Same with me. I know the band. I know of the band, but I couldn't tell you a song to save my ass.
What was that Dee Snider band again?
Widowmaker.
Gotta write this shit down.
I'm surprised you didn't know that, Jerry. I knew about.
I never heard of that actually. I mean, I heard of it, but I never heard what it sounds like. I mean, I knew you had that band.
All right, so then we get to your number 9, Tim.
My number 9 is Anthrax. Got the Time.
It was number 10, Mark.
Yeah.
10.
You're number 10. I mean, you're number 10.
No, number 9.
Anthrax. Got the Time.
No, because I just did my number 10.
You're on number 10. Okay, my bad.
You're on number 10. 10. My bad.
I'm sorry.
One of the best thrash bands ever.
So that's
I'm gonna hide my head.
Well, I was cringing because Jerry loves the Joe Jackson version better. But I
Speaking
like
of Sted Howland, didn't Sted Howland play with Joey Belladonna's band too?
I think
Yes,
so.
he did.
Yeah, thought so.
All right.
Sted Howland has played with everybody
Pretty
Yeah.
much so,
at one
yeah.
point in time.
So what's your number 10, Joseph?
All right. Well, these aren't really in any particular order, so I'll just go ahead and talk about the album that Jerry had mentioned for his number 10, and he picked one of the two most well-known songs off that album. I will go ahead and pick the other one.
Oh,
The song that started probably the biggest mosh pit I've ever seen in person, and that is "Raining Blood."
Yeah.
I mean, when
What
you hear the rain and the
raindrops,
drums
yeah.
and the
Fucking
drums,
A, dude.
you're just waiting
Man.
for that riff to come in, and then you
Yep.
just. I mean, the wall of death that I saw in the pit,
Yeah.
I saw Slayer's farewell tour, was literally the entire pit opened up and just. It was insane. What probably one of the most iconic thrash songs of all time, and it takes you to that same place like Angel of Death. You don't need caffeine when you got Raining Blood.
Yeah, I've seen Slayer twice in my younger days, and that mosh pit scared the fuck out of me. I never got in it. I was actually scared to go in that thing, dude. It was brutal looking, man. So yeah. And I used to love going into mosh pits, dude. I used to come up bloody noses and shit. It was fun, but I would never. I was always chicken shit to get in the Slayer mosh pit.
I know the one story that Ralph told was when he saw Slayer for the last time, and he's basically his current age, and he kept telling himself, "I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it." And then those drums hit, and he said,
Yeah, it was hard.
and then he's in the middle of it.
It was like a moth trying to get in the light. I'm like trying to fight it, man, but it was scary.
That is probably the scariest mosh pit I've ever seen in my life.
It is. Yeah.
all right, Jerry, you're number 9.
Number 9 is
Number 9.
I love John Sykes, and this song, man, just makes me so fucking pumped when I'm driving listening to it. Valley of the Kings by Blue Murder, man.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
Dude, it starts out with this drum. The intro, it's like it's getting you pumped up, man. And then when John starts singing that first verse, man, fucking A. Incredible tune. What a great band that was. That Blue Murder album was fucking amazing, dude.
That had Carmine Apiece on the drums, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
And the fretless wonder, Tony Franklin.
Tony Franklin, yeah.
I got a buddy of mine that's a huge Carmine fan. Huge Carmine fan.
Freaking Mark Striegel pulled that one out on Sirius XM like a month ago. I was like, whoa, where did this come from? I've never
I just got Sirius. I just got it. I just subscribed to it.
He played Valley of the Kings on Ozzy's Boneyard like a month or two ago. I'm like,
Mark
whoa.
Striegel rules, man. He's my friend
this
on
one out.
Facebook.
Yeah, he's good. He's
one
good.
out of the depths.
I'm friends with his wife too. They're both cool people, man.
Mm-hmm. He always goes to the M3 festival that I go to.
Yeah, I want to ask him.
Years he's hosted it.
I want to ask him to come on the podcast. You know, I got Chris Sinzak and Aaron Camaro. That's pretty cool. But I'm afraid to ask him because he's a radio personality. You know,
he's got that Sirius XM contract to be worried about.
Yeah,
he has a face for radio.
Yeah.
Great guy, great dude.
But back to that tune, man. It's a great freaking song. It's a good,
great
driving song, man.
It's a very good song. Very good song.
All right, so then I get to my number 9, and give me fuel, give me fire. No, that's not the one I picked.
Thank you.
That's a good song, actually. It's one of the only good songs on that shitty album.
I picked Anthrax with John Bush, a song called "Off Stomp 442," which is an underrated fucking album called "Fueled."
Yes,
Yes. Kickstart started, turned me over. Once drunk, but I'm still sober. Fucking that song fucking rules. And I went over 100 on that song on the 405 freeway at 3 a.m. And I go, oh fuck, I gotta slow down. So that is one of the songs that all these songs got me fucking going, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love Anthrax, Fueled. And then Scribble picked Alienator, Alice in Hell.
Annihilator.
I love Allison and
Oh,
Hell.
Annihilator.
Annihilator. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad.
Okay.
Allison Hell.
They're a
What
good band.
Yeah.
Great
They're a
album.
good band.
Mm-hmm.
Annihilator.
Yeah.
Talk about underrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then we get to your number 9, Tim.
My number 9 is an oldie but a goodie. Very goodie. Aerosmith. Train kept the rolling.
Oh, that's a good one. The fucking great driving. Anybody who does trade kept a rolling is fucking just fucking even fucking what Led Zeppelin did that live too. It's like train kept a
Well,
rolling.
Yardbirds
Yardbirds.
did it first.
I know that song is just
They
like
wrote the fucking thing.
that song is just a standard, man.
I'll abstain on this one. We did the Get Your Wings episode. I'll abstain on this one.
All right, so what's your number 9, Joseph?
Alrighty, so a theme that we've done a couple of different picks so far are 90s songs from 80s bands, and that was also a theme of a show we did a year ago. 90s albums from 80s bands, and I think this is actually one of the albums that I picked. One of my absolute favorite Motorhead songs off the Bastards.
Oh, Motorhead. Here we go.
Burner. Oh my God, right from that opening riff.
You got it.
Then,
anything dealing with Motorhead, I am into.
Motorhead rules.
Mickey
I
D
got
coming in on the double
into
bass.
them late.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
One of Lemmy's just snarling on this track. I mean, this is not all of the songs on my list go 100 miles an hour. This one does. It's just an amazing track. Great driving song when you just want to put the pedal down. Just a great, another one that's come up on my playlist on my ride home from work. I've really got to change my playlist.
Motor fucking head.
I'm gonna get pulled over one of these days, man.
I just listened to full albums.
That's why I went out and got a radar
music I put on
detector.
All right, Jerry, you're number 8.
My number 8 is the lead track off one of the very best. Well, yeah, they are considered thrash, but the intro song from Metallica's "Ride the Lightning, Fight Fire with Fire," man. What a fucking killer ass! That song is fast, and it makes you want to step.
I've seen that song live. It's so good.
A little bit.
Fuck.
The only thing that gets me about "Fight Fire with Fire," it's a great song. Don't get me wrong, but he's almost rapping it, and it's like,
I guess, yeah.
James, don't rap.
Fight
fire.
Kind of like a caveman. Kind of like caveman rap.
But he has a rhythm.
It's very guttural. It's very
It's very guttural, rhythmic. You know, it's rhythmic. You know, I could see the rap thing, but he's just being like rhythmic. He's like has a groove. There he goes, Jerry, with his voice.
I mean, a lot of thrash bands kind of had that.
Just that. I mean, just the riff alone. When that riff comes in.
Oh,
if you notice, James is singing with the riff.
Awesome.
James is singing with the riff that Curtis
pretty
playing.
much so, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not singing, he's rapping.
No, he's singing with the riff, man. Yeah, you know, rapping Metallica, dude. That's blasphemy. Jeez.
I mean, they probably could have snuck it in somewhere on that Saint Anger album, but
who was
maybe?
Or here's a Metallica trivia question for you. Who was the only musician to make James Hetfield cry in public?
Sammy Hagar?
Well, no.
No, they're friends, but I just had to say that was funny.
As far as I know.
Was it recent? Was it recently?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. At least the only one that I've seen James cry.
Alanis Morissette?
No. Elton John.
Is that the one? Is that the one that got the video of them in the crowd watching?
Yeah, no, Elton John was talking about what a great song "Nothing Else Matters" is.
Oh yeah,
and the way he was commenting how great Metallica's songs is. You could just see James sitting there. He was really moved by it. It might have been Howard Stern interview Metallica was on, I think. But yeah, I've never seen James being choked up like that before. Oh, of course, with the exception of Cliff's death. But as far as people commenting on his music, so anyway,
and the entirety of Some Kind of Monster. But
there you go. Silly me, I forgot about
Metallica
that. We all try to.
Yeah.
What I can say about Metallica is they just put out one of the best albums they've ever put out.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank
Mm-mm.
you.
72 seasons.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, they did 6 years ago.
That was
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
number one
Hardwired,
album. That was my number one album of 2023.
Oh, I'm sorry, 8 years ago. That's been 8 years already.
I love the album. I love the fucking album. I play it all the time. But that one and fucking the last album and the last 3 albums.
Hardwired rules. Hardwired rules.
I like Death Magnetic. I like the EP Beyond Magnetic. I like everything they've done since Death Magnetic, man.
Lulu.
Oh, I do like some songs off Lulu. I can't.
Boy, this is lately things have just been really shaping up for me. Like when I really first started getting into music, there were some like legacy bands that were putting out some really good albums. Hardwired, Firepower, stuff like that. And now that I'm like really into these bands, the follow-ups, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about these Judas Priest songs.
I
I'm
am
hearing,
not.
man.
I am not a fan.
Yeah.
I
They
am.
sound like Turbo Rejects.
Panic Attack is a great song. Are you
That
kidding
was-
me?
I like the lyrics are awful.
Hey, I had a BS story since you're bringing Richie Faulkner said that there are no ballots on Invincible Shield. Album is pretty intense record. So you guys are bringing it up, so I just had to bring that in.
Well, you know,
He
I'm
says
hoping
it's
they're-
intense. Come on, the artist said
Okay.
it's intense.
Mark. Kiss said the same thing about Sonic Boom.
I know. I'm being
Yeah, what are you
sarcastic.
supposed to
I'm
say?
being
This is our new
sarcastic.
album. This is our new album. It's gonna totally suck balls. Don't even buy it. You know, of course he has to say good things about it.
Hey. All right, so
Yeah.
that was your number 8, Jerry.
Yeah.
So my number 8 is an album that Tim will be on Freeform one day because I promised him years ago. Black Sabbath, The Mob Rules.
There you
That
go.
fucking song just gets me fucking going. I just
Mm-hmm.
listen to Fools, The Mob Rules, and that
Not the
fucking
best
riff.
song on the album, but
Oh, it
It's a
isn't,
great
but
song.
that is a fucking great driving song, and I'm just
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
a great song. It's a great
fucking
song.
Dio's vocals are just like just
Mhm.
grab you, man. It's, don't let you go.
Jerry, he's singing again. What do we do?
Yeah.
God. I love
And,
these
and he's
things.
doing Dio this time.
Oh my. No, no,
I'm not
please
trying
don't.
to do Dio. I'm just being an idiot. All right.
To me, the best song on that album, Mob Rules, is "Falling Off the Edge of the World."
Yeah, yes,
That
it
one.
is. That is the best album.
That one.
Well, now we're gonna have to wait a couple of years to do this album because we got 2 reviews on that songs. But then we get to Scribbles. I don't even think I know this song by Megadeth. Blackmail the Universe.
No.
What godforsaken 2000s Dave Mustaine solo album is
Dude,
that?
Is
You're
that,
not-
is that
you're
why
not-
I didn't know what it was? Is that why-
You're not gonna pull the wool over Scribble's eyes with Megadeth, man. He knows that band inside and out, man.
Is that a
Yeah,
is that a
he al- he
B-side
always
by
reminded
chance?
He always reminds me about my Megadeth views. Hey, Scribble.
All right, Jerry, what's your number 7?
Whoa.
I mean, Joseph, what's your number?
No, you skipped Tim.
Skip 2.
You skipped me and Tim.
Oh, Tim. Oh, my bad. So, Tim, what's your number 7, man?
8.
8.
Getting back to Joe, okay, when he's talking about 80s bands that releasing new music in the 2000s, or how about last year? Damned If I Do, Metal Church,
Yeah.
Revolution Column.
Ooh.
Nice.
I might
That-
have
that
something from that
album.
album too. I might have something on that album too coming up.
God, what an album that was. It's a
Oh,
shame that
dude.
more people didn't hear that album, because I know in our community a lot of people did, but that album, just what a great, just heavy album.
They've had one stinker, and that's XI. That's the only stinker Metal Church has ever had. Other than that, every one of their albums has been fucking amazing, dude.
Well, I still
Underrated
don't
as
think
fuck.
it hurt that it helped that shortly after Damned If I Do was released, Hal took his life,
Yeah.
and I think that kind of killed the momentum, as far as the album goes.
What a voice, man.
What a voice, yes.
Dude, I mean, he can snarl, he can sing, he can do it all, man. He's a great metal singer.
And I'm just going to say this publicly right now. I will never understand suicide, ever.
Either will I.
I will never
It's,
get it.
Yeah.
All right, man. So then we get to your number 8, Joseph.
All right, so this is one of the kind of different ones on my list. This is not a 100 mile an hour song. This is entirely a feel song. Particularly because of an episode of a TV show, which it wasn't even this version of the song that was in the TV show. And I'm sure when I say the song, at least one of you hopefully will know what TV show I'm talking about. And that is Into the Night by Ace Frehley.
TV show.
I don't know the TV show.
Great
The
song.
original version by Russ Ballard was on one of the first episodes of Miami Vice.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I
really?
have that season right there.
Particularly in a scene, it was the one like at the very beginning, like episode 4 or 5 when when Calderone tries to kill his family, tries to kill Crockett's family at the end of the episode, sends like a hitman out, and as Crockett finds out that this hitman's at his house and is like racing home in his car to try to save his family, that's the song they play, is Russ Ballard's version of Into the Night.
No, never knew that.
And it's, I mean, there it is. Just a song that I could picture myself in a convertible driving down the Miami freeway, just speeding down the Miami freeway. I mean, it's just a amazing kind of driving tune, just in general driving tune, but also driving fast tune, in my opinion. But it's kind of an out of left field pick, but yeah. So Ace Frehley's
great song, great
Ace
track.
Ace Frehley's version of Into the Night off the Frehley's Comet debut album.
Hey, I did a Joseph. I pulled something out of my hat. There you go. I had Miami Vice right there. All right, Jerry, what's your number 7?
Speaking of unfortunate suicide, our first episode was about this guy, Brad Delp. Don't Look Back.
Nice.
That song is a great freaking song to drive.
Very
to,
nice. Very
great
nice.
riff. And the song's basically about driving, and if you think about it, the lyrics have a lot about driving. But anyway, just a cool tune to just, that riff kicks in. You know, Tom Scholz, that beginning riff is just like, yeah, dude. This song's a banger. And Brad Delp, man, one of my favorite singers of all time. Rest in peace. Should not have taken your life, but I'm not you, so I don't know what you were going through. But damn it, you shouldn't have done it. But anyway, that's my number 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Brad
number
Delp.
7.
Brad Delp died here in New Hampshire.
Yep.
He lived here in New Hampshire.
Dang. So then
went to Walmart, bought himself a couple space heaters, locked himself in the bathroom.
He wrote all, like I heard your podcast, he wrote all those notes for all those people to make
uncool.
sure nobody got hurt. That was pretty cool of him. But then we get to
It was, but the rest was pretty cool.
He's being thoughtful that nobody got hurt finding him kill it, you know.
Yeah. Well.
So I thought that was interesting when I heard that. That was a great show. Check out the 3 Shots Down podcast with Jerry Supe right here, and he's on the Freeform, and Andy Rodriguez and Kate Dore.
We got some things to work out, but we'll get there.
All right. So you guys were great. Fuck off, Jerry. You always come down on yourself, and I get pissed off at that because you're awesome. So then I get to number 7, my number 7. I think we reviewed the live album of this, Slow Ride by Foghat.
Good one, dude.
Slow ride, take it easy. Fucking great.
2 picks in a row he's singing.
Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna.
You can take any song off that Foghat live album and drive to it, man. The whole fucking album you can just drive 90 miles an hour to.
That whole album is gold. I mean, just pure gold.
Yeah, you're probably gonna hear me singing on probably the next 4 songs, so get used to it. So Slow Ride.
That's one of the albums I grew up on, was Foghat Live.
Yeah, we reviewed that on Freeform Rock Podcast with Eric Armsby Jordan. Check it out if you haven't heard that episode. But then we get to Scribbles number 7. Me and Jerry like this band. I don't know about you two. It's a pretty good one. I enjoy this group. Everclear, Heroin Girl.
Love Everclear. Good band.
Yeah, it's a great song, man. We're gonna do a review with him coming up soon of an
Yeah.
Everclear album.
I don't really know him.
Oh, so much for the Afterglow. You didn't know them in Detroit Rock City? They did Thin Lizzy's The Boys Are Back in Town.
I've never watched Detroit Rock City.
You never watched that movie?
Nope.
That movie
It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest movie in the world.
The song that Paul wrote for it was enough to turn me off.
Oh,
no.
wow.
Forget that. The actors in the movie, you got Edward Furlong. Fucking-
No, Mark,
it's a-
you can keep trying to sell me. I've heard it's not that great a movie.
It's a
He's
6 out of
not
10 for
buying
me.
it.
It's dazed and confused, but
Yeah.
not as good.
no, it's better than Dazed and Confused.
No, it's not.
The best
Not
stoner,
even-
the best
Not
stoner-
even in the same league
No,
as
no,
Dazed
no,
and
no.
Confused.
I like Dazed and
Dude.
Confused. I own Dazed and Confused.
Oh,
But
come
my
on,
favorite
dude.
stoner movie is
Get
fucking
out of here.
Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke
Where'd that
Or-
come from? We're talking about that
What?
movie. We're talking about
or The Stoned Age.
Mark,
It's a
talking
great
earache,
about-
my,
movie.
Mark, earache my eye. Move on.
I know where I'm at. So Heroin
Hey.
Girls, so you're number 6, Jerry.
What?
I just did
You
mine.
Again, Mark.
You're number
You
okay.
skipped. You skipped both of
You know,
us.
you know what,
again.
you know what it is, because usually we do the guess first. So I
Yeah,
think that's
stop
throwing
reading
more.
scribble in
Yeah,
the middle.
That's throwing Mark
Yeah,
off. I think.
Scribble-
Joe,
messing
fuck
me
it.
up.
We're not even here now. So
We're not even here.
So Tim, you're number 6. You're number 7, man.
My number 7 is another 80s band, Crocus, Headhunter.
Good
Love
song.
fucking Crocus. Good pick. Good
One
fucking
of
pick.
Their
Good
best
pick.
album.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. Start to finish.
They
Start
thought
to
that
finish
guy was
out.
going to take over for AC/DC at one time.
Yeah. What a voice
Yep.
on him.
The voice, yeah. So
Mark
your number-
Storrs.
it's
Mm-mm.
Joseph's
Strachey.
turn.
Yep. So a band that I have been famous on the internet for giving much flack to over the years, which is funny that I use the word flack because it's in the lyrics of the song. A song that I think is only properly appreciated on a live version of the song, because on the studio version, the famous intro is not on the studio version. And that intro begins, "We shall fight on the land and the seas,
Oh,
and we shall fight on the beaches.
one.
Shall never surrender."
Oh,
Yep. Aces High by Iron Maiden.
That's a good one. I didn't
I've
pick an ace.
given Iron Maiden a
Maiden
lot of
song.
flack.
Yeah.
Again, flack. funny Iron Maiden joke over the years. But I cannot deny how great those first 5 albums are. And in particularly how great of a driving song Aces High is. It was the song that they closed the show with when I saw them 2 years ago on their tour. And it's one of their best songs. Amazing driving song. They have a lot of great driving songs. I think that's their best.
Mhm. See,
So-
I never got into Power Slave. They're the
Ooh,
first
great
two, the
record.
first 2 songs on the album, 2 Minutes to Midnight and Aces High, are fantastic. Some of the best songs Iron Maiden has ever done. Rest of the album,
You don't like Power
Uh,
Slave or Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner?
no,
Ooh,
not at all.
What's wrong with you, Tim?
Well, that would do it then. That would pretty much turn you off with the rest of the album.
But
Yeah.
but Aces High and 2 Minutes to Midnight, they are just, why couldn't the rest of the album sound like this?
I say that about most of their discography though. They tease you with one really good song, and then you put the rest of the album on, and you're like, is he still singing? Is this song
Dude,
still
what,
going on?
the
No, he's
best
shaking his head because of me.
the best Iron Maiden fucking gem is A Matter of Life and Death, man. There's not a bad
Yeah.
song on that album, dude. That is
No, I wouldn't say there's not a bad song on it.
no,
It's a
dude,
great-
that whole
it's a
album from
great
start
album.
to finish rules, man. Benjamin Brigg, that song fucking
Yeah.
rules. Talking about a
Yeah,
great
Matter of
guitar
Life
song.
and Death rules. Me and
Mm-hmm.
Jerry gave me that record. He sent it to me. What a fucking brother he is, man. Because
Fucking
I said
great
I
album-
love that
one of his
album.
best
He
album
sent me a
covers, too.
vinyl copy of it. What a fucking awesome person you
Fucking
are.
album
Best
cover
Iron
rules
Maiden
too.
song I have ever heard in my life is Running Free. From their
Fucking great
Killer-
song.
Fucking
Killer-
Diano
first
nerds.
album.
You know, I'm just gonna say there's more Diano nerds out there lately. I'm going, what the fuck? Bruce
I
is my
mean
favorite.
that's been a pretty common trend in our music groups for years, Mark. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's irritating now, but I'm over it.
I mean, number of the Beast is my favorite made now, but Killers is my second. So it's
Yeah.
pretty close with them. I like them both. I like freaking Blaze too. So fuck me, right?
I don't know about you on that one, but Jerry, what's your number 6?
Is it actually my turn?
Yeah,
Okay. This is a band.
he
probably
just said Aces High.
How
It's your
about
turn.
that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Scribble confuses me. My bad.
I don't know if Joseph's a fan of this group or not, but I know I think Tim's made some negative comments about this band. I know Mark don't like him. Well, he says he likes 6 songs from him now.
Oh God, no.
But,
Why?
Ghost Faith.
Oh,
What a fucking jam that is, dude.
oh.
I'm going to Mark Alden Taylor here. I am all eyes. I am all ears.
Bon Jovi was
I
like,
am the wall, and I'm watching you fall.
We all sing
'Cause
karaoke on our
is
shows, man. Shut the
mine.
fuck up.
Fucking great tune, dude. Great driving.
Bon
I
tune.
might
Jovi
sing
like-
it. I might sing it a tad more than you, Jerry. Fucking asshole.
But I had to do that. It's a fucking. There's a few Ghost songs I would put up there to drive to, or just fucking killer. tunes.
there's one that's on my honorable mentions. It's not that one, but that one's close.
Yeah. Rats. That's another great song to drive
Yep.
to. But anyway, that's my number. What is it? 6?
6. So then I get to my number 6. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
It
What
was
is
a
that?
beautiful day.
The sun beat down, put the radio on. I was driving, running down a dream. Da-da-da, never would. That fucking lead at the end of the fucking song, then Mike Campbell just rips. He fucking rips at the end of that song. Fucking, I get a speeding ticket to fucking just the whole
dude.
song, but at the end I go faster
Yeah.
with Mike just fucking doing that fucking melodic, fucking perfect lead that I don't think any guitarist has done a lead as perfect as that lead on that song.
It's a good lead, but I'm a
It's
guitar
a
player,
fucking
dude.
great lead.
Mark,
Mike
I think-
Campbell doesn't get enough credit.
Please don't
anything.
tell me that you're getting more passionate about the guitar in a Tom Petty song than you were about Eddie Van Halen.
Well, I'm saying it's up there with a lot of perfect leads. Mike
I'm saying
Campbell
you-
should be
you-
talked about more.
You
That's all
you
I'm
sang
saying.
you sang the riff for Atomic Punk and didn't have as much passion as you just did talking about some guy that nobody knows
I
the name
love
of
fucking
on a
Tom
Tom
Petty.
Petty song.
I like
Yeah.
Tom Petty better than Van Halen. Sorry.
yeah, but Eddie Van Halen started sounding like the guitarist in Tom Petty towards the end. So what the fuck?
Running down a dream.
I can't top that.
It's a great no, but it's a running down. It's a
No,
beautiful
I
thing.
think Mike Campbell's
Mark,
a
Me
great
and
guitar
Dale
player.
were singing. Little
Mark, we know how
Runaway.
the song goes.
It's a
No, I think
fucking-
I mean, he had no business being in Fleetwood Mac, but he's a good
Oh,
guitar
I
player.
agree with that.
mean,
His band,
that
The
was-
Dirty Knobs, is pretty good. Check out The Dirty Knobs.
but for he
I think you just
complimented
made up
Tom-
that band name right now.
The
he
Dirty
complimented his guitar playing complimented Tom Petty, man. It was a perfect match. So I
What
think-
Tom Petty said about Mike, he could shred if he wanted to, but he wanted to play in the context of the songs. So Mike Campbell's a really great guitarist.
No, he wanted to play in the context of what Tom Petty wanted him to play in.
No, he wrote the songs. If you
Again, a paycheck.
the thing is, Mike Campbell was co-writer on most of all those songs with Tom.
Yeah, more
Okay.
money in your
Don't
paycheck.
don't
Whose name was on the album?
doesn't matter. Mike
Whose name
didn't
was
care.
on, whose
Mike
name was
didn't
on the
want to be a
marquee
star.
on the tour?
Whose picture was on the front of the album?
Doesn't matter. Mike
Yes,
played
it
with the songs.
does.
But who got the publishing with
it was
Tom?
it was Mike Campbell and the Heartbreakers. Man.
who
What are you
made
talking about?
who made money with who made
So he
money?
got more money in his paycheck.
Mike Campbell was with him on everything Tom ever did.
Poor Mark, man.
He was with
Where's
him.
Wild
He was
Card
with him in
tonight?
Mudhoney. He's with him on the solo albums. Mike Campbell is fucking. They're yin and yang. Without Mike, there would be no Tom. To me,
Mudhoney, that band from Seattle.
not Mudhoney, Mud Crunch. I mean, Mud
Oh.
Crunch.
I was going to say,
All right,
I don't think Mike Campbell
Okay,
was
let
in
me
Mudhoney.
not get confused here. So Scribble's number 6 is Falling in Reverse. Zombified. All right.
Now I'm feeling zombified. Yeah.
You know that song?
I do not even.
It was on Beavis. It was on Beavis and Butthead. That's how I know it.
Oh, and
They
they
used to
were
play videos.
were they
yeah.
making fun of it?
Yeah, they were.
Thank you.
Well, of course they were.
I just wanted to make sure because I watched all those. I didn't, but that song is so forgettable. I don't know what the fuck it is. So we get to you, Tim. You're number 5. Six.
My number 5.
6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We were discussing earlier about songs that weren't the singles off the albums. They were album tracks, and this is definitely an album track, but I think you'll agree, I think. Cinderella, Once Around the Ride.
Oh, that's a good one. I wonder if Jerry picked a Cinderella.
Maybe.
I know you, man. I know you.
Maybe not.
And I think you know what song I probably would have picked if I did.
I think I do. But Joseph, what's your number 6?
All right, so here is where I get to be made fun of.
I don't
Got
make fun of
got
anybody.
to share the wealth a little bit. You might on this one
I hope not.
because in the midst of all this talk about Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Motorhead and Van Halen, I went and picked a Korn song.
Ooh.
Off their debut album, the second track.
Freak on a Leash?
No, that's not on their debut album.
That's on that other album.
That's on their third album.
So I said
If you
other
say
album.
so.
The second track on their
I
debut.
think I own it. Who wants it? Go ahead.
I already own it. The second track on their debut album, Ball Tongue. That's one of their heaviest tracks. It's really, really, if you don't like Korn, you're gonna hate the song. But it's a really, really cool, heavy track and kind of all over the place. And it's a really, really kind of, I have actively headbanged in the car to this song. Not a lot of songs can get me to headbang in the car because I am a very safe driver most of the time. But this one did it. So that is my number 6 or whatever we're on is Korn Ball Tongue.
That's funny because Chris Elio sent us a Korn song done in Alice in Chains.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, that song rules if Alice in Chains sang it. I was like, oh, I just can't stand Jonathan Davis.
Okay, I have a correction to make. There's actually another song called Zombified by a band called Alien Sex Fiend.
Okay.
That was the one that was on Beavis and Butthead. I never heard of the other song that's Scribble. So I apologize, Scribble, for making fun of it.
That's right. Nobody
Oh
knows
no, it's
about-
falling in reverse. It's just as bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody knows that band except for the laptops. So there. But so we get to your number 5, Jerry.
Oh shit. Number 5. This is a song that makes you step on the gas pedal because you're not thinking about driving. But it's a great song because it makes you think. A lot of his songs make you think. And I remember listening to the song one time. I was driving down to Fort Myers. It was late at night. I'm like listening to it, just listening to the lyrics. I look at my thermometer, speedometer. I'm going 91. It's like because I'm talking about "Against the Wind" by Bob Seger.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
A lot of his songs, the lyrics get into your head. It's almost dangerous to listen to while you're driving. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hollywood Nights too, man.
Even slower songs, Against the Wind, Night Moves.
Even
Dude, I'm
now,
telling you,
even
man, it's
now, fucking damn.
You'll accompany me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blow
I mean,
me
just
away.
if you can visualize what he's singing about, it's been in your life. You know what I mean?
Roll me away.
Yeah,
Great song.
I mean,
You know,
but that song especially, man, I remember that. I remember that clearly. I'm going 90 when everybody, my daughter, her friend, and my wife are all sleeping. It was like vacation when Chevy Chase was driving, you know, and it was just, you know, I can't believe how fast I was going because
So you saw Christy Brinkley on the side of you?
No, I wish.
Oh.
I'd be going like 120 then. If that was the case, but yeah, that song always. Like I said, kind of a dangerous listen to Bob Seger, in my opinion, because you just think too much about the song.
Dude, Hollywood
Anyway.
Nights gets me going too. That's a good one. Bob Seger, man. Yeah. Shakedown, Breakdown, that's a good one too. And then we get to my number 5, which is Mr. Mojo Rising.
Ah, the Doors.
Gotta keep on rising, rising. Yeah,
I
I
get
suck.
shit out. A lot of people, when I say LA Woman's my favorite Doors song, people are like, "What? Are you stoned?"
Oh, it's not my favorite Doors song, but it's a fucking great.
It's my
driving
favorite
fucking
Doors
song.
album. I mean, that whole album
Really?
rules, dude. Yeah.
The first album, dude.
See, there you go, giving me shit.
No, I'm just saying, in my opinion, the first album and Morrison Hotel.
Mark, you're not allowed to have an opinion. Damn it. I'm just kidding, dude.
Okay, Eddie Conostracci, I need you now. All right, man. So I'm picking LA Woman by the Doors. It's fucking great fucking song.
It's a great tune, dude. You're right.
I don't know this band. Maybe you guys know Scribbles number 5, Mushroom Head,
Oh, yeah.
1200 Kill Tomorrow.
Yep.
I have no idea who they are.
I saw them live opening up for Static X last year.
Oh,
They're a band. They're the band. I don't know if this will ring any bells for anybody. They're the band that got in the big feud with Slipknot because they were both from around the similar area and both wore masks around the same time.
Which Static X? The old one with the old singer or the new one with the new singer?
Well, he's dead.
Well, I know that, but
Yeah, no, I
Did you
said I
see
saw
him back in the day,
I said
or
I saw
did you-
him. I said last year.
so that's the new
okay.
guy.
I'm sorry.
New
I'm
guy.
sorry.
Yeah, so it's the original lineup minus the singer with
Yeah.
with definitely not Edsel Dope singing. But they were a pretty cool band. It's very similar to Slipknot. Got the lots of percussion, got unclean vocals, that kind of stuff.
Hmm. I like Dope. I thought they were a good band. Had a couple great albums.
Yeah, so that's Mushroom Head for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've
who
heard the
Mushroom
name.
Head
I've
is.
never heard a song.
Maybe
by
I'll
him,
go
but I've heard
check
the
him
name.
out because Scribble does have some good taste. He does like Bob Hope and Big Crosby.
Mark, you'd hate him. Mark, you'd hate him.
I would hate him.
Yeah.
I surprised people. People didn't think I
Mark,
liked the
you'd hate
Butcher.
him.
People didn't think I liked the Butcher Babies. I like the Butcher Babies.
Mark,
But,
you'd
Well,
hate
dude,
them.
what's your- Oh, yeah, that's true.
what's that other band that I like with the girl that's screaming?
Arch Enemy?
Yeah, I like them too.
Yeah.
So
This doesn't have a girl screaming, Mark.
I need to check out that band Nervosa.
Oh, great fucking.
Yeah, I need to check out that band. But so we're at you, Tim. You're number 5.
Number 5, I went with another album track from a band that's been around forever, and I wish they'd go away, but they don't, and they won't. Dokken, Don't Close Your Eyes.
Oh, it's a good one. Never go wrong with rocking with Dokken, man.
I like
well,
their new
nowadays,
I like the new album too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better
I
than
won't see
freaking
him
Lynch,
live.
better than Lynch Mobs, man.
Mm.
Oh, that album.
I'm gonna have to sit through the unfortunate mess of seeing them live in a couple months.
Lynch Mob?
Yeah,
That singer sucks.
Mark, I know they're like
Tony?
fourth. They're like fourth in line at a festival I'm going to. I'm not paying to see George Lynch.
That's the time you go see the beer, go to the beer. Go get
Yeah.
they still have Oni Logan, or do they?
No. Some guy
Oh,
called
no.
Gabriel something.
Yeah, I
Hell
can't remember his
no.
name. Yeah.
I have no idea about.
Hey,
Lynch
but-
Mob
I'd
these days. I
I'd
have no
actually
idea.
be interested if it was Oni.
I would too. Like we did an episode and I said, hey man, George, get Oni back. This guy sucks.
I never actually. I've seen Lynch Mob, but I never saw Oni Logan because the one time that I saw Lynch Mob, it was right either before or after Oni quit the band again, a couple like 5 or 6 years ago,
Yeah.
and he had, for one special show only, had Robert Mason singing with him
Oh, damn.
Mhm.
because Warrant was playing at the festival that they were playing at, so they just had Robert Mason come out and sing with Lynch Mob.
I like that last album that he did with Lynch Mob, Oni. That was a good album.
Mhm.
Like, that was
I
a great.
never heard it.
It was good. I'll tell you what it. I think it's. I'll tell you about it later. They got some great songs on it. I like the groove. So what's your number 5, Joseph?
Alrighty, so let's keep the late '90s make fun of Joseph part of the show going.
Backstreet Boys?
No, No,
In
Mark,
sync?
Mark, real music, real music.
Okay.
In sync?
no. No. Rob
Taylor
Zombie.
Swift.
Rob Zombie Super Beast
Oh,
off
that's a good one.
off the first Rob Zombie solo album.
When he was
Definitely
good.
when I saw him live last year, the best part of his show was Super Beast. Talk about a song that just goes 100 miles an hour the entire time. Again, Mark, the groove is really really cool on this track.
Yeah, I agree with you. Good
But
song.
great song.
I like
really
Rob Zombie.
great song when it comes on the radio when I'm driving. It's another one that kind of gets a little dangerous.
White Zombie, more human than human, is fucking great too.
Oh, yeah. White Zombie's a great band.
Fuck yeah. Thunder Kiss 65. God
65,
dang.
yeah.
Those are a lot of songs by White Zombie or Rob Zombie you get fucking tickets to. Fuck, that's a good pick, Joseph.
Yeah, I used to crush on their bass player in White Zombie. I thought she was hot.
She was
man.
hot.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Devil Man was a great song
Yeah.
Yeah.
by them.
Jerry, what's your number 4?
But number 4 is great song from their first album, and we mentioned that yes, Mark, you're correct. I did pick a song from this band, Cinderella. But can you guess which one?
Gypsy Road.
Nope.
he said it's off the first one.
Bad Seamstress
first one.
Blues?
That's off the
No.
second album, Mark.
Yeah.
Nothing
the
for
first
nothing.
album. Oh, Hell on High Wheels?
What's the name of the album?
Night Songs.
Night Songs. Oh, Night
Yeah.
Songs. Oh yeah,
Jerry
you
needs
always
Jerry needs a shot of gasoline.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What
I
a
agree.
fuck-
He's
I
hitting
love how
116.
Yeah, I love that fucking song. I love the guitar riff, and it opens up. Tom's voice is on fire. Dude, I mean, it's one of the best Cinderella songs, I think, and it's a great killer song to drive to. Man, there's a few Cinderella songs you can drive
Oh,
to,
yeah.
actually, but I think
Nobody's
this is-
Fool you could drive to too, man.
Coming Home is a slow song you can actually drive to too, because
Mhm.
it's your goal, it's about coming home basically. So
The first time I saw Tom Kiefer solo, they were a couple songs in, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I can't remember. I think they opened with More Things Change. I'm like, I'm not a big fan of that song to begin with. I don't know if they play. He played like a solo song. He maybe played another Cinderella song. Wasn't one I was too big on. Then, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing Tom Kiefer. There we go. It's
yeah.
I'm in it. And when
I
the-
don't know what happened to that band, but something
a
major
lot of
happened to that
things.
band.
A lot of things.
I know it had to do with contracts, or so they said anyway, or if they were just bitching at each other, or I don't know, but
I think it was a little bit of everything.
they
Yeah.
I'm not going to say destroyed, but they stopped a great band.
Yeah.
I think they could have gone on and done.
Well, they
better
had a
things.
lot of record company problems with Still Climbing.
I mean, only
just
4
got pissed.
albums, right? Only
Yeah.
4 albums, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
thing
saying is, I think they could have gone
Tom
on and
said
done better
Cinderella-
things.
Tom
Yeah.
said
But they were
Cinderella
never
would have
given a
kept
chance.
going after Still Climbing, but the record company was just screwing them, and they couldn't make any Cinderella albums.
Well, what
I'm
I
just-
don't
I'm just-
understand is Eric Brittenham, their bassist, and Jeff LaBar, their guitarist, went on and formed another band, Beggars and Thieves. And granted, they put out an album, but they were a bar act, because they're just starting out. But my thing is, so if it's a contract thing, why can't you just break up Cinderella, change it to something else, and go on your business?
Well, another thing, Tom Kiefer had vocal problems. He couldn't sing
Yeah.
for a
He
while.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of
Yeah.
like set the band back after Still Climbing. So
And if for nothing else, it's just great that we're still able to see Tom Kiefer play those songs with a great
Mhm.
backing
I
band.
was gonna say he's got a great band. I mean, he really does.
Yeah.
Got like what? He
Both-
got like 6. He got like a 6-piece behind him, something like that.
At
5 or
least,
6
at
It's
least.
a bunch of people. Yeah.
I think when I saw
Great
him 2 years ago, I think it was even more than that because he had backup singers, he had
Right.
the whole thing. But I've seen him
He's turning
twice.
it into
Always put on
he's
a great
turning it
show.
into a choir.
Hey, they put on, I'll tell you what, I've enjoyed the times I've seen them.
Yeah.
I'm just glad those songs are still out there being played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Still Climbing was a fucking awesome album too.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
Yes, it
so
was.
it isn't like they slowed down.
No.
So yeah.
I can't stand Heartbreak Station, but Still Climbing's a great album.
Yeah.
oh, I love Heartbreak.
And that was
Heartbreak
also-
Station was them trying to be country
No, fucking.
Like, I don't know what else.
I
you know?
love that song, "Heartbreak State." She took the
My
last
least favorite
train
Cinderella song.
right out of my heart. I love
Out
that
of
fucking
my
song.
heart.
Yeah, Jerry, you fucking
But there was a
rule.
lot more. There was a lot more like slide guitar on that, and
Yeah.
I loved it. Fuck. David Gilmour fans like the slide guitar. Come on. So there. But my number 4, this is the part of the show where I probably get made fun of because
The
people
part.
don't really like Miles Kennedy.
You mean for the 6th or 7th time to be made fun of?
I didn't pick
Just-
Oingo Boingo, and there's a lot of driving songs I could have picked up Oingo Boingo
We'll have to trust you on that one.
or In Excess. But
Oh.
people always get on like Creed, but they don't realize Creed, the 3 musicians besides Scott Stapp, fucking rule.
Yeah.
Fucking Alter Bridge
No,
from my
That's why.
favorite.
That's why they made Alter Bridge.
Yeah.
Alter
Yeah.
Bridge from my favorite fucking Alter Bridge album. I love them all. Addicted to Pain from the Fortress album. It says you're addicted to pain, and fucking Toronto's no. Fucking drums are just kicking ass. It just fucking keeps going, and he just goes, wah. He just starts screaming in a fucking song. Fucking Miles Kennedy is an amazing fucking vocalist.
I like Miles Kennedy. I do.
Yeah,
So
great guy.
I
like
seen him with Slash, and I saw him with Alter Bridge, and the next day
Yeah,
I fucking
Alter
my
Bridge is a
back
good
went
band.
out because I was fucking I got fucking wasted that show. I fell off somebody, and my back fucking went out, and I was out for work for 5 months. I fucking love
best-
Alter Bridge. I'll see them anytime they come by.
The
Fucking
best
great
thing
band.
to me that Miles Kennedy has ever done is the Rockstar soundtrack.
he was a guy in the audience too, wasn't he? That he pulled up on
Yeah.
stage, wasn't that
Yeah,
him?
he jumped up on stage and started singing his song, and it's like, you know,
I'm
most
Thor, the god of thunder.
most singers would knock him out before he got a verse in, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
said
Go
said
ahead.
to my friend, now that Creed's back together, they got to do a tour where it's Slash and Miles Kennedy, Alter Bridge, and Creed.
well, you want to kill Miles Kennedy?
Yeah.
Well, he'd do two. He'd do
You would do 2
sets.
shows.
I mean, there's a lot of bands that do a similar thing. I mean, none of these bands play more than a freaking hour and 15 minutes anyway.
that
It
is
was
true.
like
Yeah.
Pearl Jam and Soundgarden with the same drummer, right? Going on tour. That was
I saw when I going back to the Static X show I saw last year.
well, didn't that happen
There-
where
Their
he played
bassist,
with-
their bassist played with Fear Factory and then played with Static X literally back to back.
but didn't Pearl
and
Jam and Soundgarden do a show
I have
together?
no clue. I have no.
I think they did.
But and then Edsel Dope, who definitely isn't the lead singer of Static X now, Dope opened the show.
Jeez, I wonder who is the lead singer of Static X now.
Boy, I wonder who the lead singer of Static X is when Dope has played literally every show with them for the last 5 years.
And have you heard the new Dope album? No,
Hmm.
you have not. Have
No,
you?
we have not. And who's producing the new Static X albums?
I wonder who.
I
wonder-
have no idea about that band at all. So
Great
Static
band,
X,
anyway.
I know Wayne X died, right?
Wayne,
Yep.
Wayne Static.
Wayne Static
Yes.
died, you know. I think that's kind of bullshit them taking over his band. No.
It was his family signed off on it.
Okay, that's cool then. So we get to maybe Scribble be made fun of on this shit. Nickelback, flat on the floor.
Boy,
I
Scribble's
never
list,
saw.
Scribble's list started out really promising with Overkill, and
I never saw the problem with Nickelback. I mean, they write some good. They write
This will
some.
be an
clunkers, I'm not
hour-long
gonna say they don't,
conversation. Let's get away.
but they write some great, well, good tracks. I don't understand. They're just like any other top 40 band. You know,
No.
they're just trying to make it.
Look
you
at
know?
his photograph.
2 words. 2 words. Chad Kroger.
Yeah.
He's vanilla.
Don-
He's
You know,
Don
I-
Bon Jovi.
I don't-
you know?
I don't think it was so much
No.
Nickelback the band. It was that song that Chad Kroger did for the Spider-Man movie. with
Yeah,
the other
that
dude.
one sucked. With-
That
with,
really gave Chad Kroger a bad
wasn't
name.
that
song
girl,
was
wasn't that
terrible.
girl from Evanescence in that?
Probably.
Yeah, I
Well,
like
the
her.
dude-
I love
the dude
Evanescence.
Well, he dated what was his name? Avril Lavigne, didn't
Avril,
they just two
yeah,
go
he
out for a
married
while?
her.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He married her.
married
She's
her.
pretty hot though. She's pretty
All
hot.
right.
I'll give her that
Well,
one.
but the dude from Josie Scott from Saliva
Mhm.
did that tune with Chad Croder, and it
Oh.
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I like Josie Scott's voice. I like Saliva.
And I noticed
Click,
the
boom.
hate from Nickelback really kind of happened after that, as far as I remember.
I
don't
like
know.
one-
It was when like Photograph and all that blew up, and Rockstar. What an awful song!
Oh yeah, a terrible tune.
Agree with
And
you.
Now that should have been a
celebrity
B-side release.
cameos and
I like one album by Nickelback, and it was their sleaze rock album, Dark Horse, where they had
that's the one everybody points to. I'm like, it's a Nickelback album.
but it's good. It's the only one I like.
I think people didn't necessarily get mad at Nickelback for Nickelback. They got mad because how is this popular? Because it really wasn't. Who was actually listening to Nickelback? Is my
Why are
question.
people listening to Celine
Nobody.
Dion?
People
Because
actually
she's got a great voice. There's a lot.
the
of talent
difference,
there.
Mark. The difference
Okay.
is
Celine
Mark,
Dion and
Celine
Chad
Dion, people
Kroeger are
actually
the same
listen
singer.
to. People actually listen to Celine Dion.
Let's
around and
compare.
ask.
How many albums? I think compare album sales between.
I'm
Celine
just
Dion
I'm
and
just
Nickelback,
saying
man. Come on.
vanilla. They are vanilla. They have
Celine
no
Dion's not
emotion.
vanilla. I don't like her
Celine-
music that much, but she's got an
What?
amazing fucking voice.
Her
Yeah,
voice
but
is
okay,
vanilla to me.
then what is the attraction to Taylor Swift?
I have no idea.
She knows how to get to young people.
Hey,
She got-
she's a cool person. I just don't like her music. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put her down
Trouble with them
personally.
young people is when they're 10 years old, yeah, they're all Taylor Swift. When they turn 11, oh no, the next band coming down the pike. You know,
That's
and
America.
No,
Well,
no,
I mean, that's the way
what
it's always
that's
been.
what
But
the
Taylor's
music
been
no,
around.
industry has become.
No, Taylor's
but the
Taylor's
thing
a
is,
phenomenon.
it's not the 10 and 11-year-olds that are with
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
That's true.
It's my age.
There's
And I do like,
there's
I
40-year-olds.
do like some of her songs. I can't say that I don't. So,
Well, you know what? Cool. So we get to your number 4, Tim.
Number 4 is from a band that I have loved since I can remember. And it's going to be the next 2 songs are going to be from the same band because I couldn't pick just one. So number 4 for me is Van Halen, Mean Streets.
Nice.
great
That's a
tune.
great
That opening, please.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could play that opening. Nobody knows what he did.
And even if they watch it, they still, the
Nope.
hell is he doing?
Nuno Bentoncourt said, I can't play the fucking opening to Mean Street. Don't even have me try that. So,
Well, it is
Well,
Nuno. So
Yeah.
hey, I get to see 2 bucket list bands. Like I get to see Mr. Big and I get to see fucking Extreme coming up in February. I'm
Pisses
excited.
me off.
Have you not seen Extreme before, Mark?
No.
Oh, I have.
First,
They sucked.
well, because
What
you don't like the
pisses me
music.
off about Extreme.
No, Mark. They were actually bad live.
I got live concerts of them. They're great.
Okay, well, I've
What
seen
pisses
them.
me off about Extreme is they're from Boston, and
So
I
is-
hate them.
So is Aerosmith.
Aerosmith is not from Boston. They made it in Boston. Aerosmith is from New Hampshire.
Ah, all right.
Tom Hamilton graduated from New London High School, 20 miles from me.
Dude, this guy knows his shit. That's
I
why you're on
delivered
here, Tim.
oxygen to his parents' house.
Nice.
And his parents, and all through their house was nothing but Aerosmith memorabilia, gold records, platinum records, just, I mean, wall to wall. And I'm like, oh, Aerosmith fan. And they were like in their 70s. And I was like, cool, you know? Well, I go up to their bedroom and put a concentrator in, and there's Tom Hamilton's high school photo hanging on the wall. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, what? And I looked at the ticket.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Mrs.
That's
Hamilton.
cool.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, you know. They live on Fairway Lane, or at least they did, right next to the New London golf course.
Oh, wow. Now people are going to go to their house. Thanks, Tim.
I didn't tell you the address. I just said the name.
Now they'll be looking. All right, man. So we get to your number 4, Joseph.
Well, keeping up the theme of picking songs from bands that I have publicly trashed on this show. Motley Crue. Can't deny. Primal Scream will make me put my foot through the floor. Just probably my favorite Motley Crue song. What a track.
Kidding me. Your favorite Motley Crue song?
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate Motley Crue. What's your point?
No, my favorite Motley Crue song is either on Shout at the Devil.
Well, yeah, that's my
94
favorite.
release.
Those are my two favorite albums by Motley Crue. My favorite song is Primal Scream.
I
Vince
will say
never
with
sounded
Vince,
better.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Well, not even with Vince, but
Vince never
it's a good
sounded
song.
better.
It's a good song.
Yeah. But the only time Vince's voice sounded this good was on Exposed. Nikki Sixx somehow learned to play the bass.
I don't think that was him.
Well, let me believe, Mark. Let me believe.
Okay.
He's trying to give the guy some credit, man.
I'm trying to
Besides,
give. I've said a lot about Nikki Sixx. Let me give him credit for once in my life. Just yeah. I mean, if not my favorite, definitely in my top 3 Motley Crue songs. So,
there's a story about that. I used when that Decade of Decadence came out. We were cruising down Hollywood Boulevard, and right in front of this like famous restaurant at Sunset Strip, they had a big thing, fucking Merry Christmas, Decade of Decadence, Motley Crue. They had it right there in front of, I think it's close to the Tower Records on Sunset Strip. That's a fucking good memory there, man. Just seeing that, fucking seeing our music on the Sunset Strip, and now it's fucking Billboard Live, and fucking Gazzari's is Billboard Live. Fucking sucks. But at least you got.
Also,
Okay.
as we're talking about this song, if the rumor is true that this long-awaited new release from Motley Crue is a re-recording of Decade of Decadence, and they re-recorded this song with John 5 and current Vince Neil, I will go on an hour-long rant on this podcast someday.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll just call it. Let's bitch
We will
Motley Crue.
We will just do a Motley Crue bitch session because I might throw out my Motley Crue CDs if
That's a good episode. We could bitch about Motley Crue for 2 hours.
I might pull an Ian Wadley and break my Motley Crue CDs live on video if that happens.
Exclusive here on BS Sessions.
If that
God, I hope it happens. I hope it fucking happens now.
Well, that's okay. If I get mad, if I get over it, I can buy them back cheap. You can get them for $3 on Amazon.
True, yeah.
But just for future reference, if anyone's living in future planet that this happened, search. It's on here. It's on this channel somewhere. The video's there. I will break all of my Motley Crue CDs because I will be officially done with this band.
Don't break the albums if you have them. They're costly.
I only have one. I only have one because they didn't release the '94 album on vinyl.
I was done with Motley Crue when they fired John Corabi and brought back Vince Neil. I was like, that's
I was done.
I washed my hands.
I was done after Theater of Pain.
And I know the 2 pieces of shit that are the first to go.
I like both those albums.
Why I own these on CD, I will never be able
I
to tell you.
I have both of them on vinyl.
I was gonna say I got both of them on vinyl too.
See, but the difference is you guys probably bought them when they came out.
No, I got them used.
I bought these after knowing all of the songs on them.
No, I bought Girls, I bought when it came out. I bought it when it came out, and I bought Dr. Feelgood when it came out. I love them both. So
I mean,
yeah, Mark, you like Sammy Hagar, so
yeah,
that doesn't mean anything.
I bought Van Halen's OU812. It was at a yard sale, sealed for $1. That's the only reason I bought it, because maybe I can get.
I got the box.
I was going to say how
right
much did you turn it for?
$1, man, at a yard sale, man.
No, I said how much did you sell it for?
I still haven't sold it yet.
Van Halen on their 5150 tour at the Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia.
How'd this become Sammy bashing?
And
Sammy bashing.
I walked out after
I know the
3
story.
songs on that tour. I still didn't get to see Eddie do a solo, but I didn't care because I went across the street to a bar and they had a Dio tribute band, and I had my night complete.
And you drank your pain away.
Oh, big time. They came out, and Mikey Anthony was on one side of the stage and Eddie was on the other, and they did the whole cross thing, where they run across the stage and they run past each other. Only they were so drunk, they hit each other and they knocked themselves down and they knocked Sammy down, and everybody's just laughing their ass off except for Alex. Alex is just drumming away behind his sunglasses, and I'm like, wow. A bar band is better than these guys.
You didn't get to see them do that stupid best of both worlds dance they do together.
Yeah, I didn't see
when they all kick when they all do the Rockettes kick in unison.
Yeah.
I was
That
like,
line without
my God.
I had this on VHS also, so fuck off.
Boy, I can't believe that's never gotten a Blu-ray release.
It should. They're releasing 4K Motley Crue.
Yeah, because unlike Sammy, that'll sell.
That was their last tour, supposedly. But
I can't believe you spent money on that.
I love this.
Twice.
I've watched this a million times, man. I love it.
Oh my
5150 time.
With the parachute pants and the
who cares what they look like? The music was fucking amazing to me. But we'll get to your number 3, Jerry.
Well, no driving list would be complete without an AC/DC song.
Fuck, I forgot them.
I'll pull a mark here, see if you guys can guess what it is.
Highway to Hell.
I've never heard that riff before in my
I've never
life.
heard that riff at all. So different, Jerry.
Yeah, Highway to Hell, man. What a great fucking tune. What a great driving song that is, man. You could
Bon
pick
Scott.
probably, you could pick 1,000 freaking AC/DC songs, but to me, that's one of my favorite songs by them. So I think it's Angus's best guitar solo. There's just everything right about that whole album, and and I love that song, dude. Great riff.
Okay, quick group check. Who's a better singer, Bon or Brian?
Bond by a long shot.
Bond.
Yeah.
I
All
agree.
right.
Brian's good. Brian's good.
Oh, I
think
like Brian.
He was a great, replacement, not replacement, but successor. I mean,
I love Brian unless he's trying to do Bond songs.
Yeah. TNT. I'm dynamite.
Bond to me was a shithouse poet.
Yeah. Oh man.
The only one that kind of worked a little bit with Brian, Dirty Deeds, kind of worked a little bit with Brian.
Yeah.
But Brian, when he came in, he changed the whole sound of that band. It was more of a blues orientated band till Brian came in, and then that went straight heavy metal.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
Still pretty bluesy.
Yeah. So then I get to my number 3 and Ian Wadley. All right. So my number 3 is Megadeth from the Countdown to Extinction album, Cyclotron.
Yeah.
Ew, again.
What? You don't like Cyclotron?
I hate Megadeth.
We've
been over this.
Hey, Scribble, I picked Megadeth. I get cred with you there. So then we get to your Scribble's number 3, which you guys will probably all go over. He picked Slayer, Disciple.
Yeah, good song. Good song.
I don't know it.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So Tim, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Van Halen again, Unchained.
Great one.
Same album.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I could have thrown Sinner Swing in there too, but I didn't.
My favorite song is fucking Dirty Movies off that album. Fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a good album, but
Like,
not to drive to.
That's my favorite album by Van Halen. Fair warning.
Me too,
So,
without a
and
doubt.
And then 1, then 2, and then Diver Down's kind of last. But I do love Diver Down. I think it's a maligned album. But then we get to your number 3, Joseph.
It's funny. I hate almost every Megadeth album, and yet I own this, The Duality of Man.
Didn't you get that as a gift?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that wasn't your fault.
No, it was not my fault. I would never buy that on purpose.
I remember.
hate that band. um,
Scribble's like, oh, fuck you.
my number 3, a real metal band, in comparison to the band, in comparison to the band that Dave Mustaine formed after these 4 superior musicians fired his ass.
Take that, Nate.
Oh, geez, I wonder who you're talking about.
Bushy? All right, go ahead.
All right, so it's my turn. It's my turn. None of you are gonna guess it. Guessing game. What Metallica song did I pick?
Master of Puppets?
Nope.
Ride the lightning.
Orion.
Nope.
Blackened?
Closer.
Oh, it's on that album then.
Uh-huh.
Not one.
Unjustice
No.
for All?
No.
Dyer's Eve.
Dyer's Eve.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the most consistently at 100 miles an hour song on my entire list. Probably the angriest James vocals ever because he's screaming at his parents in this song. Just fast and furious from start to just suddenly starting, suddenly stopping. This is one of those songs that it comes on and you're just like, yep, okay, here we go. I'm gonna get in a 10-mile chase with cops today. Yeah,
or until the song's over.
Or until the song's over and I return to being a normal driver and I pull over and say I'm sorry for everything I've ever done. So yeah, my number 3 is Dyer's Eve by Metallica. I'd pull out the big box set, but it's in the back room. So
Yeah. Hey, I'm pulling shit out of my ass like you. I'm fucking proud of myself today. But I could.
My Injustice for All is right over there.
I do have the 3 CD set too. I have both. So it's pretty cool shit.
I got the 6 vinyl, 15 CD, 6 DVD set.
Asshole.
But where's
Christmas
the
gift.
bass?
I'm not like you guys, man. I just don't get into these like box sets and shit like that. If I have the album, I'm good with
this.
it.
That Rush
one.
moving pictures
Now-
box set.
Some remastered
amazing.
CDs.
It's the only one I got.
But
I don't buy box sets. This one I bought because Seattle '89 on vinyl.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
want to get
depends on
that.
what's on them. Depends on what's on them.
Yeah, I don't buy box sets. That one I bought.
But the thing
Like
is that
I
fucking
bought
Rush
the,
box set is amazing.
I bought the Led Zeppelin remasters, and it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah,
Jimmy
it really
Page
does.
is fucking great producer and great engineer, man.
So is the
And I
Rush
bought the Aerosmith
remasters.
box. Huh?
Aerosmith remasters are awesome.
Yeah, and I bought them.
And so is the Rush ones.
Pandora's Box.
I have that right here.
I have a bunch of the original, the ones with the red with the yellow lettering on the side.
So it depends if I can find the Thin Lizzy box set, which they
I'm
say
doing a
help, but I haven't
Joseph.
been
I'm
able to
pulling
find
shit
it.
out of my ass tonight.
I'll pull all the Aerosmith CDs out if you want. They're right there. You can see them in the back.
Joseph's good, but Andy Rodriguez has got everybody beat. That guy has
Yeah.
everything.
I've been doing a pretty good job tonight.
All right, where the hell are we?
You were on number 2, Jerry.
Is it me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know me, of course, I got to have an Iron Maiden song on this one. It's my favorite Maiden song of my favorite. I know I say Prodigal Son is my favorite Maiden song, and sometimes it is, but not today. It's off Number of the Beast, my favorite Maiden album, The Prisoner.
Oh, it's a
Mhm.
good one.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just a killer tune. It's like I'm not a prisoner.
I'm a free man, and my
Just a
blood
fucking-
is my
You can picture the
own.
cops chasing you, singing that song.
I like when he says, "Scratch me from your
Yeah.
black book."
Black Book. Yep.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Dio-ish there, the way he sang that.
Was that
lyric.
was that Bruce Dickinson's first album with Maiden?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I thought. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
He
It's a great
sang his balls off on that album, man. You can't ungive him credit for that.
Oh, dude, and Clive Burr's drums on that album.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I mean,
Yeah.
Nico's good, but man, Clive was amazing drummer, man. Fucking great drummer, and that track specifically, he was awesome on, dude.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, I absolutely agree 100%. That was a
Got- you
great
know,
album,
it's-
great band
Yeah,
at the
gotta-
time.
Got a long
Big
intro, that's cool. Got a long
Mhm.
solo. It just got everything you need to have a good, a good drive. So that's my number 2.
So then my number 2 was on that show. I think Al picked this one. This is what gave me the idea for this episode. Fucking 3 Deep Purple songs in a row. And I go, man, that'd be a great episode. If I could get a speedy ticket to this shit. Speed King by Deep Purple.
Great
That's my
song.
number 2.
Great song.
Fucking amazing fucking band. I love fucking Ian Gillan, man. Fucking great fucking vocalist. I like sorry, Chris Czynszak. I like fucking what's that album fucking with Deep Purple with Black Sabbath?
Born Again.
Born Again. Great fucking album.
Oh
I like
yeah,
that album.
great album.
Great album.
Produced shitty, but great album. Great songs. Great tracks.
There he is. I don't have that. So there you go. It's a great album, man. I got it.
The deluxe remaster.
Oh, nice. I hope Tony releases those masters and remixes them. I heard it might be a remix of that.
Well, I hope they produced it better. Remaster.
The remaster's not bad. The remaster's not bad.
And then we get to
Because
Scribbles.
the original album it was lacking.
Yeah.
Then we get the Scribbles number 2, Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's
I can
picking,
understand.
he's
Scribbles
picking
coming
back up here at
Picking
the
back
end.
up. He had Slayer and he had Metallica now. So after Nickelback, we thought he was going downhill. So he's kind of picking it up here.
Yeah, I know. We've got Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, and Nickelback.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Scribble rules. So we get to your number 2, Tim.
I cannot, in good faith, in good conscience, make a list like this without putting a Priest track on it. I don't know if it's my heavy metal heritage or whatever, but it's got to have a Priest track on it. And the Priest track I chose is Heading Out to the Highway.
uh-oh.
Boom, another one.
Mm-hmm.
Great album, man. I love that fucking album. So we get to your number 2, Joseph.
All right. So if we're talking about speeding songs, where better to speed than the Autobahn?
So
And
it's going
where
to be a
be-
German band.
It is going to be a German band. It is going to be,
Scorpions?
in my opinion, the German band.
Scorpions.
Except.
Scorpions.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Off the Love Drive album.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Another piece of meat.
There you
Oh, fucking
There you
great.
go.
Yeah, good tune, man. Good pick.
Rocky like a hurricane too, man. But from the live, the worldwide
Not,
live.
not even the best driving song on that album.
I know,
Bad Boys Running
worldwide
Wild.
live, dude.
I'm
that's-
Leaving You.
Yeah.
Leaving You. Yes. Great song. Great song.
Big City Nights is a good driving song.
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
talking about the whole live album. It's fucking great to drive to.
Hell,
mean-
most of the Scorpions discography is a great.
I had like
driving.
15 different songs I could have picked.
Yeah. Even the zoo. The zoo is
Yeah,
fucking pretty
was-
cool.
I was thinking about that one actually. I was actually considering picking the Zoo just because it's like it's the opposite of what you would think, but that's a song that you'll put your foot through the floor.
But you just get lost in the rhythm of that
Mhm.
song. You're not noticing how you're driving.
Yeah.
you get lost in the groove, some might say.
The groove, yes. That fucking song has a fucking groove. So Jerry,
You know, there was a band called Infectious Grooves. Just to,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
fucking wet cream all over your body. Okay. That's from that.
I don't know what that was.
I
You
don't
know-
either.
If you ever listen to the first Infectious Grooves album, they have this guy called a Lizard, and he's going, "Who you think I am? I'm the one who sang this." That fucking that's Mike Burr and
Mark.
Robert Trujillo's funk band. Fucking great shit. You never heard fucking Therapy with Ozzy? You ever heard that song with Infectious Grooves?
Mark, until you started talking, I didn't even realize that Infectious Grooves was in any way related to Suicidal.
Really?
No, I knew
They-
the band name.
They do a fucking great version of the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin too.
You cannot do a great version of the Immigrant Song unless you have
they
Jimmy
do a
Page,
great
John Bonham,
version.
Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones on it.
Dude,
Just like Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen
It's-
found out when they butchered rock and
you
roll.
never heard the groove that makes your body move, Infectious Grooves, or Sibelius's Arc?
Well, clearly, Mark, since I just told you until about 5 minutes ago, I didn't know that they
Well,
had
you
anything to
shouldn't
do
make
with
fun of them
suicidal.
until you listen to it.
Did I make fun of them? I
Well,
just said
saying.
no, they cannot do a good version of Immigrant Song
Are you
because they
two
are not.
married by any chance?
What?
You would think some days.
Well, check out the groove that makes your body move by them. It has Ozzy doing background vocals on a song called Therapy. Fucking great song. It's called Therapy. And Ozzy just goes, Therapy. And then Mike Murr's like singing and Robert Trio's just slapping that bass.
You're not doing a very good job selling this, Mark.
Okay, just think of Ozzy singing Therapy. Ozzy's voice singing
All right.
Therapy.
Let me write that down here.
Oh, fuck. You know we're reviewing that album now, Jerry.
No. Just
Fucking
fucking with you,
love
dude.
that band. I love Infectious Grooves. I got through.
All right, Jerry, what's your number one?
Yeah, Jerry, what's your number one?
Well, you guys just stole my thunder, man. Unreal. What are the odds of you guys mentioning this song? From my absolute favorite rock and roll band, the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
That's a good driving song, though, man.
Yeah,
That is one infectious riff.
Fuck off.
I was so
Listen,
happy about that
infectious
song. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm
Hey.
so upset.
You guys go listen to Infectious Grooves, the groove that makes your body move. You can tell me if you don't like it or you like it. Just listen to it and give me an opinion. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number one.
So my number one is a
Fuckers.
song. Is a
I'm
song
just
my
kidding.
wife gave me a story of. She was in a Ford Escort. She's listening to the song, and she found out she was going over 100 miles. She just got lost in the song, and I agree with her. Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Mhm.
Like Master of Puppets.
I didn't know escorts could go over 100 miles.
Yeah,
an
she
hour.
didn't know that either.
You found out.
Found
How
out.
about that? Learn something.
How about
new
them
every day,
apples?
don't ya?
All right, fucking great fucking driving song, and then of course Scribble's gonna pick two Megadeth songs. Joseph, he picked Devil's Island. as
Okay,
his
at least
song.
it's a good one.
All right, man. So Tim, what's your number one?
All right. Before I give him a number one, I am gonna give Megadeth a little bit of credit. They did a hell of a remake of a Thin Lizzy song, Cold Sweat. That was an excellent job by them. Gotta admit. Okay. Number one. An LA band by way of New York, ex-member of London, Blackie Lawless, and Wasp, Wild Child.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one, man.
My foot just that comes on, and next thing I know, my poor Jeep is doing as fast as it can go.
Yeah,
Or
Blinded
motorcycle,
Texas
or-
too, man, by that band. Blinded Texas.
There's a couple off the first album I could pick.
Yeah. Animal Fuck Like a Beast. Oh,
No, not even that one. I Want to Be Somebody.
that's a good one.
That one.
Even their version of the Real Me by the Who. Fucking,
No,
Yeah,
that I could do.
that's
I could
great
do
one.
without that,
Yeah.
actually.
I like that version.
Worst song on a really good album.
But Wild Child to me is just the epitome of going down the road when you're convertible, whatever it may be, and not giving a care in the world to anything or anything. And that's usually when I'm speeding, is when I'm out of my headspace and not focusing on driving.
Yeah.
So
All right. So what's your number one, Joseph? Oh, Queen of the
the
Reich.
Reich.
Queen of the Reich.
There is no escape. This is the ending of your precious life. Your soul slips away. It belongs to the Queen of the Reich.
Oh, that's a fucking great track, man.
Dun, dun.
Queen of the Reich. I can't
Talk
do it.
about a band
But
on
Richard
literally the
First-
first song they ever released.
Mhm.
firing on all cylinders.
Lady Wore Black's a cool tune too off
Oh,
that EP.
Well, the whole EP is just freaking amazing, but that song specifically to me is one that's
Mhm.
again come
Yeah.
up multiple times on my
And
playlist when I'm driving.
an opening track.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that is just a song saying this is who we are, like it or not.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
All right,
And
man.
and I remember when that EP came out, they didn't get jack shit for publicity. Nothing. It was just word of mouth. You know, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Have you heard this? At least in my area. And all of a sudden, everybody's heard it and everybody's got it, you know, and it's like, whoa, that was 2 days ago, you know.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get tickets to see Jeff Tate doing the hits down the street for me. That'd be fucking cool. Because last time I saw him with Vincent Kavanaugh, fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our episode of our 11 songs to get a speeding ticket to. And Jared, you guys have any other honorable mentions, Jerry?
I didn't do any. You know how I feel about honorable mentions. I hardly ever do them.
I
do
did, but I
either.
want to go to bed.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting kind of tired.
All right, man. So guess no honorable mentions. I want to thank Tim for being on the show.
Thank you
Jerry,
very much for having me.
The mystery
nice
man,
talking to you guys.
the mystery man in the dark.
he's
The
the man.
computer.
He's Johnny Cash, man. He's the man in black. But Joseph, thank you as always for being on here. You guys have any final thoughts, Jerry?
No, this is again another fun show. If I can promote my new podcast, the 3 Shots Down podcast, we just edited our Sid Barrett episode. That should be out in a day or two. And you know, it's a pretty interesting topic to talk about old Sid. Interesting fellow. So can't wait to see what people think about that one. And go Niners.
Joseph.
Music.
Music.
Yep. Physical
Uh,
media. Always buy physical media.
Tim, who is the black computer. Any final thoughts, man?
I agree with Joe. Life is music. Music is life.
Mhm.
All right. Just
Like Frank Zappa said, music is the best.
hey, be a pal, like, share, and subscribe. Give us comments on these episodes. Give us suggestions for what episodes you guys like to do with us. And next week we're doing Jerry's pick. We're gonna make a hard album. Or 11-song hard
a
album.
hard
Or CD.
album or a heart album?
Heart.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, man. Let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys, and good night, Gracie.
Later.
Take care, everybody.
Later.
Bye-bye.